I see. Okay. So last time you made it into Orithil. You tracked the necromancer who turned out to be a grave cleric and a psychopath. You dropped, and he wanted to kill Engelhart, so you dropped him off at some city, and you dropped Engelhart off at a different city after knocking them both out. You then went around finding all the witches. You destroyed one of them and took two of them, and then the field around the library went down. You also found the Greyfly, your brand new special flying ship, and then you went into the library only to awaken the librarian, a giant automaton who you kicked the ass out of. And that's all I can be bothered to talk about. So, for now, we'll come back to you guys all being in the library. Remy has just had his encounter with the strange entity from between the plains, Cathane the Wisher, and you've just killed the librarian, and we're just kicking off in exactly the same location. So, what would you like to do?
I would like to. Sorry.
Mute yourself and get to it. All right, what's everyone else doing?
Well, I think or at least Rose looked at it and determined that there's nothing that she can do as far as her divine magics are concerned, correct?
Yeah, you've never seen anything like this. Honestly, it looks like something you'd expect from a deity of some kind. Like, it looks like, you know, a mark from a god or something, but it's much creepier and much darker. And, you know, when he cut his palm, he began to bleed black ichor from that palm. So
is Remy able to get it off his hand? He's trying to basically flay the palm of his hand.
No, every time you cut that hand, it just seals back up after dripping a bit of the black ichor.
God damn it. Ah! He's just screaming and trying to cut it off. He's panicking completely.
Byron kneels down on one knee in front of you, and he just tries. I mean, I'm not entirely a weakling, but nowhere near as strong as you are. But he tries to just close your palm with both of his hands, close your hand to a fist, and has both of his hands wrapped around it. And he's at your level ish, and looks you in the eye. Goes, "That won't work. I will find something, but you will have to trust me. That won't work."
Remy will drop the knife and drop to his knees, trembling. Who the hell does this motherfucker think he is? Nobody does this to Remy Hoochmonger.
If he lingers around this dead city, maybe he had something to do with it, and maybe some of the answers are in this library. If not, I will see what the Halls has at its disposal. Someone must have heard of this person.
Remy just goes silent. He looks despondent.
You'll be all right, Remy. From what you said, at least, you have to agree to it, right? Because you explained, right?
I didn't agree to this.
Okay.
He shows you his hand.
Well,
Rob, do I feel different? Do I get the sense that there's some presence that's with me or anything?
Make an insight check on yourself.
That's a 10.
You don't necessarily feel any different, apart from maybe a hand hurts a bit from stabbing it. But yeah, you don't feel anything, but you feel a little bit weird. You know, you don't know if it's just the adrenaline or whatever, but yeah, you feel a little bit weird, but you can't feel, an invisible ghost looming over your shoulder or anything like that.
Sure. All he said to me was that he could give me power in exchange for serving him. And, he didn't say anything more than that. But I know that he's talked right to my mind. And I didn't invite him.
That's not outside of what I've know for a deity to operate. Perhaps he was just one of those.
What the hell need does a deity have for me?
They often choose people, and unexpected people at that. I mean, who would have thought that Lathander would have chosen me? Or Cream?
You're wise.
But he tends to favor human worshippers. I'm a dwarf. It's actually, when I first joined the church, was quite a to-do.
Well, I assume you had a choice.
And so do you.
That's what you always tell me anyway, Remy. I have a choice. The chaos stuff, you have a choice with this. It's not going to make you do anything you don't want to.
Maybe. Remy stands up and he'll dust off his knees and say, either way, if you can't do anything about it, forget about it. He's going to turn off and he's going to walk back towards the ship.
What's everyone else doing?
Byron watches him go and then turns to look upon the 2 million books, one of which may contain the answer. I think first he's going to spend some time investigating the librarian, the inner workings or the magic related to it, maybe if he can find some sort of codex or manual for it, or like starting at the level that he needs to try and find something that he can translate or try and study up on the language. So he's got a lot of work ahead of him.
So most of the books in here are going to be in Orithil.
Yes, I understand, and I don't know that, but I presume there must
I will say, because you're Byron, you can figure out what things are saying fairly quickly after a few hours, maybe.
Especially if I find any evidence of something like a Rosetta Stone, something. If something has the same transcription, between Orithil and Elvish or Draconic or a Dwarven if the Macrolian Empire or whatever was at the same time as Orithil and there was ever any meeting, maybe he can start to piece together some sort of language that he can operate on.
That also, you hinting that you just want classes of comprehend languages.
I mean, I imagine I don't have the ritual on me right now, but I imagine it would take me. I could teleport back to the halls, copy it into my book for an hour, and then come back again if that's easier, and pay the gold because I presume they teach that.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
But I don't know if you want to clear up people, or you could buy the glasses there, probably. I imagine, but that's more expensive.
I think it's 50 or 100 gold or something for me to get that spell.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have so much gold that
it doesn't.
Rather do is no problem.
So, I'll turn, look at the feet in front of me, and then I'll turn to the collected people. I'm going to the halls for about an hour. Does anyone need anything?
Need? I don't know.
It's like when someone's going to the grocery store and it's like, oh, you want anything? The second they get back, you're like, oh, I needed so many things and I forgot.
Yeah, I could have asked you for this and that, and
You can always send me a message while I'm there if you remember.
I know that these are all in a different language and what do you think they're safe to look at while you're gone? She really wants to touch the books again, but she's trying not to in case it activates another librarian.
Do you still have Detect Magic up?
Maybe I can always cast it again, but
yeah. I mean, a couple of the books are slightly magical, but
okay. Is it, so there's like a magic section, or like one in every so
no,
often?
like every just looks like random. Like some of them are kind of, a little bit magical. Nothing like,
Okay.
demon releasing magical from what you can see. But
Is there like a whole shelf of books where they're entirely mundane with no magic on them?
yeah, there's quite a few.
Uh,
It's maybe like 1 in 100 1 in 1,000.
Sure.
Magical, so.
He'll do a cursory investigation with Detect Magic and then point out half a dozen bookcases or something that are entirely inert as far as he can tell. Start there, perhaps. I think those are the safest.
All right.
Rose? Anything? I'll be aware.
No, I think I should be good.
I mean, if you find something nice on like clearance or something that you think might be useful, feel free to buy us something nice.
Clarence?
It, on sale. Discount.
Oh, clearance.
Clearance.
You did say Clarence.
Did I really? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, who is that?
It's
The angel
Come up
from
with
the
a
the
name.
guy. He's at the halls. He like runs like
Okay.
He sells things very cheaply.
The magic item salesman is Clarence at the hole. Just kind of put it in your notes.
It is canon now.
Yeah.
Very well. And you see, yeah, he just says very well, and like before, like almost before the sentence is even over, he just goes, poof, just disappears in front of you. And I just want literally to go to stroll through straight to like the study texts or whatever, find comprehend languages, and sit in the library with some expensive things.
So because of where it is, like you go in, and you're doing it, and you sit down next to like the first year students, like trying to learn cantrips, because it's in the like low level section, and so they've all seen you in like the the area where all the like higher level students go, but you're kind of just sitting around all the noobs because you're learning such an easy spell.
Yes, but and Byron has like no concept of shame, so he's just sat right in the middle of all of these students studying.
I bet you Byron doesn't even like notice that they're
Looking at him
like new students or anything. He's just like, yeah, these are other flesh bags that are near me.
I would also point out that he's probably not writing it himself. He's probably got his mage hand while he's like sitting back, leaning with like cleaning his glasses while they're all like trying to get like little tiny mage hands going, and he's sitting there like transcribing with a mage hand.
He's writing with like Big B's hand, and they're all like sitting there, and he's like reading aloud to his hand probably, and they're all just like watching him. Anyway, we could describe Byron's minor habits for hours if we wanted to. So, what's everyone else doing at the library? Are you reading? Are you exploring?
So it's just Rose and Elishon right now.
And Arthas and Crean.
Yeah.
They don't count.
Crean's probably like just running up and
Take
down
that
the.
back.
Yeah, Crean's probably just like running up and down the aisles, just looking for. I don't know.
He likes the way his feet sound on the marble floor.
Definitely, or like maybe he sees a rat or something and is just hunting it. Just something Creanish.
But yeah, before going over to one of those bookshelves, like Elishan would use that telepathic bond that Byron set up for us this morning. Or would it still be up? It's like an hour, right?
Yes, it is an hour actually. You could use that instead.
Okay, and she would just kind of send a little thought to Remy to, you gonna be all right?
You don't get a response.
Okay.
Because Cathane has killed Remy.
That's funny, Rob. But she'll just, she doesn't get a response. She'll just go like, well, I'm here if you need anything, and we'll then go start reading books.
All right. What's Rose doing?
She's probably just wandering around looking at different like books. Not really like kind of looking at the ones on the, not really touching anything, just kind of looking at like the bindings or anything cool.
Yeah, like, you know, this book, you see there's kind of doors in the back of the library. You know, imagine it's sort of laid out similar to a church, kind of in that cross pattern. And right at the back, like, you know, behind where the altar would be, say, is a set of double doors, it looks like. You also see there's a balcony running all the way up, and there's spiral stairs on each side that you can go up and have a look at. But yeah, as you go around, just make me an investigation check, see if you see anything cool.
15.
15. Interesting. All right. Roll me 2d20, please.
Uh, 9 and a 6.
Okay. So you're just like wandering around, you know. Maybe you go up on the balcony, and while you're up there, you sort of find yourself in this weird section that has books on one side, but then this kind of big glass case on the other side. And pretty much everything, like, there's only really one thing in the glass case, it looks like. And it's this small kind of black statue of a dog that you can see. Just really dark, and it's just like a tiny figurine, almost, one could say. And it's just kind of sitting, lying on its side in there, almost as though it was maybe left behind when everything was removed there by accident, or dropped maybe. But it's just sitting in this glass case. And you can see that the case has like window sliders on the side, so you can open it if you wish to.
Yeah, so it's not locked?
No. Because they thought everything was gone from it.
Okay, I'll open it up.
And yeah, you get this little dog, and you've probably seen a figurine of wondrous power before.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those. It's an onyx dog, and so it's just this tiny little like mastiff looking thing. So you find that kind of just lying around on your travels.
All right, I'll pocket it and probably start wandering back towards Elishan.
Cool. I imagine Green is also kind of just like charging around, not really looking at anything, just enjoying the fact that, you know, it's a weird place that he can sort of run around. Maybe it reminds him a bit of a dungeon he grew up in, because it's kind of smaller, tight spaces. Arthur's just sort of sits like somewhere near Elle and just watches her reading, which is Victor Crumb style. Eventually, after an hour or so, Byron returns. Would anyone like to do anything before that? I'm assuming Remy's just staying put.
Yeah, Remy will find a space below deck, and he's going to try to drink himself into unconsciousness if he can.
Oh shit! Okay.
He doesn't want to feel feelings anymore.
Yeah. So as you're drinking, the kind of nape of your neck begins to feel slightly cold. Shiver a little bit, and you just hear that voice again. You don't see anything. You just hear the voice again, just like a small, almost like a second conscience in your mind, and it just says, "Really, Remy, is that necessary?"
You get the fuck out of my head. You're not welcome here. You're some kind of goddamn space bully, and I don't want you in my head.
I understand. Speak to you soon.
Don't fucking bother.
You feel the coldness in the back of your neck just disappear.
Takes a nice long glug.
Byron returns. Now, is it 1 gold down and ready to read all the books?
Basically, though he is personally a little curious in the automaton department.
Definitely.
I presume technology like that has not been seen. I mean, we've heard about it in these Macrolian ruins, and we saw the spider.
Yeah.
But this is slightly different, and this seemed, I don't know, intelligent to some degree. Like Elishan was able to cause it psychic damage.
Yeah.
So it must be complex enough. So
Definitely.
spend some time poring over it.
Yeah, sure. Make me an Arcana check.
Just trying to understand how it works, or what could bring it to life, and if it could be of any help in terms of. It obviously knows about these books. If he can manage to like reprogram it, or ask it any questions, or somehow like append some extra magic runes onto it,
Yeah.
under his control. That's not bad. 25.
So you reckon this is almost like a golem, sort of treated, or a golem, I guess it's, I don't know. But basically, like, something's soul was stuck inside here to defend the library. And now that the machine itself is broken and destroyed, the soul's more than likely moved on.
So I see, like, having smashed the chest casing or something, there was maybe some sort of receptacle that had runes
probably
on.
some kind of like classic soul-based gem or something. Like just some kind of soul, like harbor or whatever. No.
Obviously don't have a soul right now, but does it look like it, with some understanding and some time, it could be repaired?
Yeah. You think you could probably do it, but you'd need another soul to get it working.
Yeah. He ponders on who would give their life, and wonders how many devoted librarians there are in the halls of Ivy, and if any of them would have gone as far as to make the life eternal for protecting a library.
That's rather optimistic of Byron, if he assumes that it was voluntary.
I don't know. I mean, he understands the desire to gain and protect knowledge.
Yeah, I reckon Byron's probably like, that's sweet, get to live forever in a library.
But I could imagine some old librarians like wanting to commit themselves to a golem form to protect their library. But yes, you could be cynical. Maybe they forced someone in there.
You think maybe they had like a deal where, you do it for like 100 extra years and then they'll destroy it and let your soul go on and someone else takes its place or whatever.
True. That could be shift work.
Yeah.
Probably work.
By joining the library, everyone kind of pays 100 years and after they're gone or something. Yeah. Well,
That's what happens when you have overdue library books.
Yeah. God, I wouldn't be surprised. I've met some evil librarians. No. Whatever.
Nothing interesting in the books that Elishan
there is
going through?
Received them on like Wednesday.
Ah. but can I read them without the comprehend languages, or
You can, but I'll say you can, but it's very slow. So like you've probably got through like a paragraph in an hour or something.
Okay,
As you sort of try and figure out what everything's saying.
probably from one of like the Barris O'Larian books that I've got. Like he had
like translations in the margin sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she was able to do like a little bit before Byron gets back, but
yeah.
So after taking some time with the golem, I guess I would get to looking around.
All right. What would you like to explore? The balcony, the wings, the lower, through the doors?
Can I get any kind of sense of some sort of organizational system? Anything that would lead me to somewhere or another?
It seems things are split into sections, but you're really not sure how they're split.
Okay.
It seems like they had a system, but you haven't yet deciphered that system, maybe.
Sure.
But I mean, you can just wander around and see what you see, if you wish.
Okay.
Where would you like to go?
Are they wings also behind doors, or are they just
No,
archways? Okay.
no. It's it's sort of set out like a church, so it would be the wings are sort of just like open,
Okay.
kind of areas.
Is it so big that like I can't see the others in here, like they're lost within the bookshelves?
Definitely.
Yeah, I thought so. So my telepathic thing is actually going to come in really handy.
Definitely. Yeah.
Although it will have gone out by now. Damn it. Because I spent an hour studying.
You can take 10 minutes and recast it.
is it
Yeah,
a
but I
ritual?
need you guys here, I think. It is a ritual.
Well, if you would say that before you start wandering, I can summon Remy back with message. I think.
True, I suppose
He's not
Byron
that
would
far.
remember. So yeah, 5 minutes before he comes back or whatever, he would say, I will be back shortly. The spell will be running out momentarily. I could recast it if we are gathered in the foyer. And then I'll bounce back.
Does Remy return?
I don't know. Do I need to make a Constitution saving throw?
I mean, if you're Remy and you're trying to get so drunk that you pass out, I'm going to say no, because the amount of alcohol that you consume would kill a lesser man or a bigger man.
Right.
So yeah, I'll just say you're the highest level of drunk, which gives you all that disadvantage and bullshit. I can't remember how it works,
But not passed out yet.
up to you. Or you can
I
make
mean-
a check if you can make a save if you want to, or you can just play it how you want.
Sure, well, let's randomize it. So, do you want to assign a DC?
Okay. 18.
Natural 1.
Remy is out fucking cold. Oh man, this is not what your party needs. All right. You hear no response from Remy then?
Very well. So I arrive into the foyer and I do the golem searching, perhaps waiting for the others to have regrouped before we get lost in this place.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elle would have wandered over at the allotted time. And then we stand around going, "Where's Remy?"
Assume he will be as safe as anybody upon that ship. If he doesn't want to take part, this isn't really his thing.
Very well. You can cast it and go about your business. I'll just say it happens, so you can kind of keep it moving. So where would you like to go?
So I don't know where you have been so far, but I didn't wish to step through the doors if there are some, without reconvening.
Well, if Elishan had to take a break from what she was going over to, get rebonded to everyone, she might go exploring in another direction from Byron. So she wouldn't really have known where Rose had gone either. So
I mean, maybe you saw Rose kind of went up on one of the balconies. And so I don't know if you kind of want to check out the other one or check out the wings, or, just in the middle looking through all the standard books or through the doors, or...
Well, Byron says he doesn't want to go through the doors. So if he wants to go through one of the wings, I can go through another set with Arthas.
Yeah, sure. He'll just kind of follow around bored.
I mean, I was just keen to go through the doors together rather than alone. Who knows what?
Well, do you want to do that first?
We can.
If that's okay with you, Rose.
I mean, this is more your guys' thing, but I'll follow along.
All right. Well, you open the doors onto a square, stark hallway with just stone floor and walls. There's a door to your left and to your right. And the only real interesting thing is that basically right ahead of you is this old bench. And kind of hanging above it with its point towards the ground is a strange-looking longsword. Half of the blade, the kind of left half of the blade, if you're holding it, is black, and the other half is this sickly green. And the blade kind of shimmers as though it was coated in oil, and the hilt is wrapped in a deep red leather. And it is just hung up on the wall above this bench, probably just a bit higher than head height.
Sounds like you need a halfling to pry it off the wall for you.
It does sound like that, doesn't it? But yeah, what would you like to do?
Can I ask the green and the black? Is it down the center split, or is
Yes.
right? And no, it's just a stark stone room with a bench and this sword hanging. That's it.
And a door on each side. A
Okay,
door to your left and a door to your right.
I can take
Do
the
I-
left if you want to take the right.
I was. Do we get a sense of magicalness? Like that is,
I mean,
unusual sword.
Yeah, that is a tray magical item.
Yeah, can we say that while Byron was casting Rory's telepathic bond again, like Elishan was casting detect magic, so she's got that up for a little bit right now?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that thing is blinding as fuck. That's hella magical.
Hella magical. Like, what kind of magic?
Oh, fuck knows.
Evocation, abjuration.
One of the good ones. No, well, the green side. The green side looks. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the green side looks like evocation. The black side looks like a different one. I don't know.
Necromancy?
That's not a
like-
school magic.
Not
Is it?
necromancy.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Actually, it probably is necromancy. Give me 15 seconds. Where the fuck is it?
And it doesn't look familiar to Byron at all.
Byron's never seen it before.
Well, he's got a book that's got pictures of weapons in it, so he hasn't seen it before.
No, ask Byron.
Well, that would be something that.
Sorry, I am doing two things at once, and we know how I am when I try and do two things at once.
Sure.
No, I think it's actually technically enchantment, not necromancy.
Okay.
Maybe it's a bit both. Yeah, Byron, this looks pretty damn familiar.
Oh, it does it?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I would relay what I detected about its magic to the group.
Wonderful. I'm glad it isn't necromantic. Which of the gazillion books will I have seen this in? From
You would have
which?
seen this in a book called Keldir the Smith, which you got earlier this season, and I'm offended you don't remember.
I mean, I remember the book with the weapon pictures in, but I was...
Yeah,
I believe it was the first session, because I think you got it
yeah,
along the same.
I think so.
Along with your dungeon book.
Yes, I think it's early this season, but yeah, this looks like what you would know to be called the Sword of Feast and Famine.
Oh, I remember that description as well.
I was wrong. Session 3 book, Hilder's Bane. I have the linky in the thing.
I was just having to look through like 15 books from this session.
I got
season.
you. I got you.
I found it. Okay, cool. That sword looks badass. Looks pretty damn evil, though. Okay.
The weapons themselves weren't evil.
Sure.
The dude who made them kind of turned out to be a bit of a douchebag, but there was no. You've not read any reports about the weapons being like evil, sentient monstrosities or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. The work of Keldir, the smith who is forsaken by his people and returned to destroy them.
Seeing this in person is like it'd be akin to finding like maybe not the Holy Grail, but
No, that was the Gambitine.
Yeah, the Gambitine's if the Gambitine's the Holy Grail, then this is the Spear of Destiny that pierced Christ's sides, or one of them.
The Spear of Longinus, you mean?
Well, I'm just calling it what the Nazi thing. You know that book about anyway.
The
Whoever
Spear
had
of
it,
Destiny
like,
in DC Comics.
yeah, whoever had it and lost it died. It was like the story, and Hitler was going after it, and Napoleon had it, and all this shit. That's not true.
That was why Superman couldn't get involved in World War II, because Hitler had the Spear of Destiny.
Oh.
Well, you know.
Comic books are for nerds. You fucking
Dun, dun, dun.
nerd. Yeah. So,
Is it bad, Byron?
Well, it so has it that these weapons were created before he went homicidal.
insane.
Yeah. He made them for his friends, so presumably they won't harm the user. This one was known to heal the wounds of those who wield it and curse those who were struck by it, feeding off their pain. The famine being that it would weaken them and destroy their sustenance. So not the most pleasant of weapons. Sorry, you go.
No. Oh, should we take it? If I like walk over to it, does it look trapped or anything like that? It's just, is it sitting on the bench or is it like
No,
hanging above the
it's
bench like it was a
hanging.
decoration?
It's hanging from 2 hooks above the bench.
They just have it as a decoration.
Either they have it as part of their collection from another kingdom, or perhaps it was bequeathed by its wielder. Maybe they deemed it too unpleasant a weapon to wish upon their foes.
That if that was the case, wouldn't it be like locked up somewhere? They just have it in the hallway. It's like random art that you just set out because you think it looks pretty.
I mean, you
It
haven't
is a
tried taking
pretty
it off
sword.
the wall yet, but it did have a magical dome over it and a golem. And
True. What did you say, Rob?
No, I was just saying that it was pretty, so you know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we bullshit that you could have a identify spell that let you not have to touch it.
I would very much appreciate that.
Because I think you got, or Byron got mildly furious at the Shade's rapier. So
Yes, I mean, if I could create my own spell, or Byron could create it, it would probably be a
I said
safer version of
I
Identify.
did say after that session that you could make like your version of identify. I'd allow you to not have to touch it.
I get to add my names to it. Oh, now I have to think. Yeah, Byron would, if possible, can he lift the sword with a mage hand? Like off its hooks and onto the bench?
Yep. Yeah, it lifts off. There's no traps. Are you casting Identify, sir?
Yeah, but yes.
Well, then you want to check the keep chat. So this is a long sword. So it has versatile and it also has finesse because bullshit dex weapon. I think that's the finesse. Right, anyway, doesn't matter. So it's a +2 sword. You can use a bonus action to speak a command word to either activate the feast side, the famine side, or both sides. While the feast side is active, and this will last for a minute. At the feast side, the sword deals an additional 2d6 poison damage, and you regain hit points equal to the damage or to the poison damage dealt. While the famine side is active, the sword causes the next target who takes damage from the blade to gain a point of exhaustion. In addition, the target is considered cursed and cannot heal or be healed for the duration. In addition, any food they eat turns to dust in their mouths for the duration, and only one target may be cursed by this weapon at a time. The attuned user of this blade may spend 10 minutes performing a ritual to cancel the curse, and the curse lasts for a week.
Grief. I want my working title for Byron's own spell to be Rutherford's Inquisitive Notions.
Amazing. Very well.
I like that even in the description it says finesse because bullshit.
Well, yeah, I did put that in 30 seconds ago. So.
I know
Yes.
that you said that, but I like that it's actually in there. It wasn't just you saying it.
No, it's true.
Well, seeing as we have destroyed this place's protections, it possibly would be safer with us. And he sort of says that questioningly. I think all the trouble we get into.
Do you, when you identified it, did you explain what all it does to everyone else?
Yes. He would have summed it up in much smaller statements. And, fluffy. I'm not going to say +2 attack bonus.
Yeah.
A fine blade.
Well, I was just going to say it doesn't really sound like something I would appreciate being used against us. So with us would probably be better.
Indeed. Though if Remy is to wield it, we should consider, and I think he would appreciate it, some sort of mind protection. Especially if this entity is trying to invade him. It's not the time to give him an even more powerful tool.
Mm. Do you think the halls of Ivy, like they have like rings of mind shielding? Do you think maybe that would help Remy?
I would hope so. We can locate rings of mind shielding. Perhaps we can find extra enchantments to help hide him. But
Hmm.
I mean, can you mind shield someone from a deity?
I've heard of such things, but not quite something I can do yet.
I plan to give it my best shot. I'm sure somewhere in the annals there might be stories of people who have tried. Perhaps I can learn from their mistakes.
Kreen is very slowly inching towards the sword.
He can't wield it, can he?
It's a long sword. So
True, but what do we know about magic things? He's going for it. Is anyone gonna stop him, or is he gonna be allowed to pick it up?
I would lift it out of his grasp. Oh, if I can, like while we continue talking, I just raise my hand and the mage hand, like just lift
And it's
it away.
and Byron like continues talking as if nothing is happening, and it's just behind is like the sword floating along, and Kreen like jumping up, trying to catch it. Very well. What would you like to do now?
Bit within the bag of holding.
That seems best.
Yeah.
Remy or Kareen are going to do a lot of damage with that, but I don't think right now is the best time to figure that out.
Still, a weapon that could help us win the war, used wisely. It's just the hallway, and he kind of like smiles at Elishan, and then they go to the doors, I guess.
All right. The doors open to spiral staircases heading down into what appears to be a basement of some kind.
do we figure they're both going to like the same area? Or is it kind of go down one for one basement, go down two for basement two?
That is the sort of question where I cannot give you an answer until you've been down the stairs.
Well, I
Because
mean, with like a reasonable intelligence check, we could like, our voices are echoing. It's going into a much bigger chamber that we can hear the echo coming up the other side if we both have the things open.
No.
No, okay.
No, you think it's a one room.
Okay.
You might be wrong though.
Do we want to stay together or should half and half?
I think staying together might be best if there are weapons like this around, and if there are any more golems.
Good point, good point.
All right, you head down. It ends in an open archway, and you see opposite that there's an identical one with stairs going up. You appear to be on some kind of balcony. The room is kind of, I'd say it's kind of the shape of like a power sign or a Q. And the stairs are in a little kind of rectangular offshoot, and it walks out onto this balcony. And you hear like the sound of someone being whipped. It sounds like a whoosh, and then a whimpering.
So is it like, you said like the stairs go down, into what we think is a basement, and then it like opens up, and it's like
Yeah,
we're
so-
on a
so
balcony. So there's like a bigger chamber
are-
underneath that we're
Yeah,
like
but-
above.
You are not on the balcony yet. You are in like a little kind of rectangular section off a balcony, which when you walk forward, kind of turns into a balcony, and you see on the far side that the balcony kind of has stairs that come down into the center.
So we can't see what's in the chamber yet.
Not until you move
Okay.
up towards where it's coming from.
But we definitely heard the sound of whip cracking and moaning.
You are definitely hearing that sound every couple of seconds.
So, I think.
Somebody's been getting whipped for 1,000 years.
Oh jeez, oh jeez. Like like Elishan would probably like stiffen and kind of get the sound of like, that, because that can't be good. And kind of like look back at the others and say like, I really wish Remy was here now.
Whipping is certainly his thing. Saying that you started this game with a whip.
That's true, I did, yeah.
I remember it.
I was going to say that's a weird comment to make.
That's why I should clarify why Byron said
Right.
that, because Remy did used to use a whip before he got
If I had a magic whip, I would still be using a whip.
Okay.
be arranged more.
Well, let's see if you get this fucking sword first, all right? So, are you gonna make a stealth check, or would you like to just walk up and be like, "What's up?"
What's going on down there, guys?
I'm kind of hesitant to continue without Remy.
Present continually being whipped.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're not even gonna have a peek.
Byron is driven to look at the torture. It doesn't feel like walking back, like an hour or half an hour or whatever to go find Remy and then get this person and stop them from being whipped. Like that's a long time to be whipped in his mind.
So
I am going to.
you look over and you see the room it's very ornately designed, and in the center is a round pool, maybe 15 feet in diameter. At the very center, almost like it's the centerpiece of this room, kneeling in the pool, which is only half a foot deep, is a man. He's wearing these black that Byron and Elishan and probably Rose would all recognize that these are like the bottom half of what you wear when you normally wear robes. There's sort of these baggy comfort trousers, but he's just kneeling in this pool, and he has a cat of nine tails, and it's like self-flagellating, just whipping himself and crying out. And the blood from his back runs down into the water, and then every time he does it, his back just kind of reseals itself.
So there is a pool of water that presumably has been filling up with a lot of blood. Does it not? It's not entirely red. There seems to be draining away.
No, the water looks black.
Oh, that's nice.
But not like...
Black as in old blood, or
No,
void.
black as in water that the underside or whatever the water is sitting on is black.
okay.
You know how if you look at a swimming pool with blue tiles, it looks more blue? It's kind of like that, but black. He doesn't notice your approach.
Is the man, wizened, elderly, bearded, like wild hair?
He looks about your age.
Really? Interesting. And like well kept, or
No.
okay.
He probably has like a sort of 5 o'clock shadow, wildish hair. I guess he's he's got his back to you, so you can't really see his face. But
Okay.
you know, his hair's not like 1,000 years of growth long.
Yeah. I take a step back and then, in a low voice, say,
Elishan uses the telepathic bond to ask Byron what he's seen.
"Okay, still, I'm not just going to stand there in case he sees me, but we can do it in the telepathic bond, of course." A man self-flagellating, seemingly on an endless loop as his flesh regenerates with each strike. Well, after each strike.
Are you sure it's real and not an illusion?
Could I make an Arcana check?
No,
Make
it's
one?
real.
It's real. From this distance, I believe it to be corporeal and correct.
Should I send for Remy, or do you want to continue with just us?
We can go back for Remy if you wish.
Well, I can send, and she like waggles her fingers like, you know, magic. Because sending.
He didn't reply to the last summons. Do you feel he'll reply again?
Maybe if he thought we needed him. But if you think things will be all right, sorry, that was me laughing at the chat, not laughing in character.
We know, Corinne.
Mm-hmm.
That was me laughing in character. The man continues to whip himself as you stand there.
I fear that, or I feel that if we're going to go any further, we need to make sure we have everyone. This place has been sealed for a very long time. And if what you described is true and accurate, then there's clearly some powerful entity, magics, I don't know, at work. That's my feeling anyway. Something doesn't seem right. Doesn't feel right.
And I could try to summon him magically, or we can all go back and get him, but I'm offering to. I suppose he wouldn't know where to go unless we go back for him.
Precisely.
Very well.
All right.
Turns and goes back upstairs. Although I think Byron will peel off and spend time in the library.
So you're just going to leave this guy down here?
Yeah, apparently. I think Byron might keep an eye, like maybe make Milton to keep an eye on the door or something. On the upper level, and I'll spend some time looking at a book while they go collect Remy.
All right. You find Remy passed out in the bar of the ship. Just at a table or on the floor or whatever it may be.
On the floor. It looks like he was sitting up against a wall with a bottle, and then eventually he just slumped over. So he's kind of on his haunches, but like down on the ground too, and there's just an empty bottle on the ground. Probably snoring very loudly.
Yeah. Elishan has had such good luck at waking unconscious men in this campaign, but she's going to go over and kneel next to Remy and try to wake him up.
He'll eventually stir.
You're still drunk, though.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell do you want, El?
Sorry, there's something in the library that, well, we thought it would be best if everyone was there. I know you're having a hard time, but we may need you.
Hold on.
So, as that's happening, Remy, you hear a voice in your head as the coldness returns, just saying, "She's right. Go with her."
Hell, there's a voice in my head, and I can't shut it up. I'm a liability right now. You don't want me with you.
Well, that I don't think will ever be true, Remy. And she like gives him a smile, but I know you can block
I can't
it out.
trust my own senses. I just want to turn them off. This thing could stop time and talk into my brain whenever it wants. You're not safe around me.
Elishan kind of has that. I'm sorry, Remy, but the same could be said about me.
Maybe that's true.
I have faith in you, at least. The way the rest of you have faith in me.
Remy stands up, kind of sways on his feet.
All right. Let's go dig ourselves deeper in the shithole.
It's a favorite terrain, right? Elishan tries to joke.
He just struts out of the room.
Oh, sorry, it's okay.
That is an extremely Elishan thing to happen.
Like, yeah, okay.
Wrong joke, wrong time. All right. You return to find yet again the man self-flagellating, or whatever you do before that.
So some naked guy is beating off in a pool?
That's exactly what's happening.
So I think before they get down there, like Byron was just reading a book standing by some shelf, and as they walk by, like he just falls in line with them. Doesn't even really put the book down, but he certainly doesn't acknowledge or act any differently towards Remy.
Yeah, so Remy, you're considered poison.
Okay. So disadvantage of attacks and saves and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you return to the pool.
So Remy is going to try to... first of all, can I consider that a short rest, what I just took?
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I did take a shit ton of damage in the last fight.
Yeah, like 48 in one turn or something.
That's pretty rough.
That's nothing.
So I'm going to burn some hit dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that'll give me... 6, 4... 36. Okay. And can I try to use my Indomitable to overcome... Because I'll get that back in a short rest. Could I use Indomitable to try to overcome the Poison?
Sure.
That's a 19 with a +6 or +8. So
Yeah. You're fine. You are
Um,
able to kind of shake off the effects of the drugs.
Okay.
Or, so drugs, booze.
and we still have our temporary hit points or whatever, the bonus hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Remy's in fighting shape again.
Does her feast give you resistance to poison or something?
Oh yeah, I have advantage on saves versus poison as a halfling.
I'm gonna say self-poisoning.
I know.
doesn't help.
I just
But-
something that occurred to me that it actually makes it harder for you to get drunk having a hero's feast.
Oh.
That's true.
Which is weird.
Yeah. Well, I guess
He worked really hard at it.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm not saying that you couldn't. And if
Some
anyone could, let me
might
know.
say hoochmonger moonshine is more akin to a curse than poison.
Yeah, it has magical properties of its own.
No, it's immune to poison.
I
I
think
thought-
Byron
oh.
gets all the acid burns in his table and stuff to make it all pretty.
Yeah, we have,
Oh, the etching. Yeah.
Yeah.
we have advantage on wisdom saves and we're immune to poison. So
And
yeah,
being
technically, and being frightened. So yeah, like Remy just would have been drinking until exhausted. Really, he wouldn't have been able to really
Yeah.
knock himself out.
I'll house rule it and say if you're choosing to get shit faced, then it doesn't count.
Especially with
Fair.
Fair.
It dissolves the hero's feast in his stomach.
Oh.
It's none of the benefit.
it actually does the temporary hit point damage.
Back to baseline.
Yeah.
From the balcony here, is there some grand sweeping stairs down or some?
Yeah. So on the far side of the balcony kind of turns into stairs on both sides, coming down and meeting like directly opposite you.
Oh, well, I didn't say it before, but could I have like peeked in there while I still had detect magic up to detect and see if I could see any magic?
The pool is magical. You also see that there are, or he is magical, and you also see that there are 6 other people who are glowing slightly, but underneath the balcony. So you only see it kind of when you start going down the stairs, and they're standing underneath the balcony on the far side.
Like watching?
Yeah.
And they're magical too, or I've just seen?
They're slightly magical.
Okay.
What are the watchers wearing? Is it some sort of cult robe?
You can't really see. It's incredibly dark. She would probably not have seen them if they weren't glowing slightly in her vision. So like the rest of you probably can't see them
Dark under the balcony, or is it
unless you have
basically
dark.
pitch dark in this room?
No, it's like shrouded in shadows under there. This room sort of glows slightly. Maybe there's kind of like a glowing.
So I wouldn't have thought
ceiling
that there was
element,
like.
but yeah.
I
Unless
wouldn't
you
have
have
thought
dark
there was an
vision.
alcove unless I had detect magic up, right? Like I wouldn't have even noticed that there was
No,
like
you'd be able to
a
see that.
mezzanine.
Yeah, you can go under the balcony. Yeah.
So Remy does have dark vision from Goggles of the Night.
Yeah, so you can see 6 dudes standing there, arms folded, just watching.
So if he can see them, what are they wearing? Are they stripped naked like the man, or are they in robes?
They are dressed exactly like the man.
In the sort
naked.
of baggy pants.
Yeah.
I have the dark visions too, so I would be like relaying that, probably like mental pictures if that works in telepathic bond. I'm not sure if it does to everyone
Or you
who's
can just
connected.
say that they're
Yeah,
6 guys are dressed.
man,
the same.
let me be cool.
No.
So I'm sorry to interrupt the flow of the game. I need to help Sarah squeeze some limes because she lacks the forearm strength.
No problem. Do we want to take like a 5-minute break or?
Yeah, that's cool with me.
Yeah.
I've been
Is
there.
that
Been there.
I'll be right back.
cool? Oh shit! You guys were thinking you were gonna fight Chaos Lord, and then there's like weird dudes.
No, not really. I was just wondered what was in the basement before I start
I was
setting
more-
camp in the books.
Yeah, I was more talking to Jade and Corinne, who had just decided that they were facing Durgan today.
No.
There was
Well, that's what she said.
There was evidence.
there was evidence.
We were preparing
There
mentally.
was not evidence, I would say.
There were
Evidence-
strong
evidence suggests
signs.
proof.
Well, okay.
So-
there-
Signs? Really?
yeah, well,
Dan, you haven't read the books.
yeah, you haven't read
Exactly.
all. This is why you need to read the books.
But my character wouldn't have read the book, so I'm
Corinne,
entirely
Dan doesn't even read
unprepared,
his-
which makes sense. Byron was going to go down and talk to the man. Like,
Corinne, Dan doesn't even read his own books until Byron's read them.
I know.
Which is, I don't know how he has the willpower, because anything I write is solid fucking gold.
I mean, we are
Exactly.
picking up stuff in real time. I don't
Inspiration,
need
Jade.
to- I don't need to RP like reading books in real time, so I read ahead so that.
That's what I thought the whole
So-
thing was. I was like, I'll send you them in advance. You can read them, and then when your character reads them, you don't need to spend 10 minutes.
but you were
Yeah.
being super cautious about that. Both of you were, because you thought there was a Chaos Lord because of the books that you'd read
No.
prior
No,
to you
no.
being informed
No.
about
Because
them.
there was a man down there.
Whipping himself.
Yes.
That is
And
not
healing
normal.
himself.
In,
And,
in a library that has been like cut
What-
off
what
for
is that
thousands
normal?
of years.
We were just in a magical forest filled with riddles and like little girl trolls. Like, where is our level of normal right now?
Well, it's definitely not normal for like a place that's been cut off for thousands of years. For like a dude to just be chilling in the basement, beating himself.
We've literally already met 2 people here, so like it's
They-
not
they
that
weren't
cut
from here.
off.
They weren't from here.
Yeah,
Like,
but
the
they
library-
are here. I'm not saying this man was from here. Like anyone could have set up in this basement. Like,
I advise caution.
Yep. I mean, Byron himself was all like, we should go together. And so, like, we're discovering, like, people here that, like, are not, beating themselves in a magical pool. That's not, like, let's continue going without our warrior type
I'm going to put
of
an
action.
embargo on saying beating yourselves
In a pool.
with regards to this man.
All right. I'm going to go AFK for a second.
honestly, trying to respect a man's need for distance. Degree. Byron was completely happy with
So,
giving him his space.
what are the chances he's just like, oh, hey guys, yeah, I'm just finishing up here. I'll be done in like 10 minutes. Feel free to-
Right.
But they might be. We're just in a magical forest where we talk to all kinds of weird creatures. Like,
Yeah, but it's not in a magical forest anymore.
Oh, and let's not forget that our friend Remy is now hearing voices. It has a magical thing on his palm.
Plus, you did
I
say,
know.
oh, we've met 2 people here. Half of those people were psychopaths. So,
50% of them.
yeah.
That's a big percentage.
50 out of 100 of those people were
how many
psychopaths.
of us are psychopaths? Or have killed people or done much
Well,
worse? Like,
Byron's like 100% a sociopath.
yes, just
And
like I don't know.
or maybe one of you is like a paranoid schizophrenic who's invented all these people in your mind.
Maybe
Huh.
it's
Lying in a hospital bed in Kansas.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what?
Go on.
We're just talking about what's really going on.
Oh, okay.
Was
We're
all
really
dream.
playing Call of Cthulhu.
No, I was saying that basically this is all one of your dreams and you're actually lying in a hospital bed in Kansas.
Mm. Durokai locked us in a Mayan palace.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're still in that first cave, Alishan. This is still what happens when you calm emotions. Someone infected with chaos. You just hallucinate months of your life. That's why Arthur's got suddenly swole. It all makes sense. Holy shit.
No.
Subconscious genius.
Subconscious genius. L's subconscious genius.
That's why all my bullshit never works the way it's supposed to. It just does random ass shit. It's like, no, no, calm emotions. What? Why is it taking me to the further? That's not how it works. I mean, even if we hadn't read the books, I still would have been all like, no, we need to go get Remy because the DM was like, chanting TPK.
Right?
Yeah,
So
like
more meta reasons then.
You're no fun sometimes, Dan.
I tried to give dude his space. Like Remy was not up for it. I didn't want to go pester him, and that was entirely again. Like Byron's not going to go. So we heard a bump in the dark, and you're the only guy who can hold a sword. So can you come stand in front of me? Which is basically what you're asking.
No, well, to be fair, it is also a thing where it might be another meta reason, but I didn't want to have to, Dylan to sit through another 2 hours of, sitting while he does nothing.
Well, it would more likely be you guys sitting through 2 hours of me just freaking out Remy.
Yeah. If characters decide to split the party, it's somewhat up to the DM to balance the 2 or 3 different narrative threads that are going on. So Rob would have just kept tormenting him, and maybe Remy have his own adventure, or maybe he'll get bored and come find us in his own
While we were
time.
dying.
Yeah, but
With this guy.
Hey guys, has anyone got some breakfast? Because I'm hella hungry. Just walks in on your beheaded corpses or something.
And the guy's still there.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, they popped out a while ago. The sandwiches in the fridge upstairs though.
The pool is suspiciously now full of blood.
Yeah. Or maybe Byron's in zombie mode, just flagellating himself, and there's now 9 people under the balcony instead.
Ooh. One tiny little cream.
Man, that picture I found of the kobold is definitely how I'm picturing Crean now. I love that
The
picture.
little
It's
buddy.
awesome. Because I accidentally kind of fucked up because I thought they were goblins where they live for 20 years. But it turns out kobolds can live for 100 years. But Green is fully grown at 4, so I guess he's got a long, mature life ahead of him.
Yeah, little buddy.
I mean, he's already the only one that survives. We know that.
Yeah. I bet you he is just an actual dragonborn who's just really young.
He's the secret 6th Chaos Lord.
Aww.
No?
Well, now that you figured it out, Rob is going to change it.
I mean, if you did figure it out, I would change it.
Draco Lich.
Everybody wants a Draco Lich.
Oh, by the way, for those keeping score about me stealing things from Dark Souls, this is all Dark Souls. Just FYI, this whole section here. I like to be open and honest about that, just in case it gets sued by From Software
for making too much money off their product.
Pretty much. So then, I'm always intrigued. What are your theories? Just so I know to change it in case anyone gets it right.
Well, like I said, I fully thought that we were going to be fighting Gurodan down in the basement because of Rose's letters and my Grey Plague book.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Because her letters made it sound like, the disease was always heading up north to the keep, or it was heading up north towards the library. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
No, I mean, that's exactly what they say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what are you thinking now, then?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But
I'm not going to say. Because it'll
Oh,
change.
yeah. Oh. I see.
Uh-huh. No, I'm kidding. I think we're heading... I suspected we're going back to find the keep of smoldering ruins because we've been away.
What? No.
But I think we're coming back to the plague at our doors. Or very soon, plague at our doors.
No. Yeah, because plagues and war and battle and stuff go hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get a disease or whatever, from now on, you just like, it's Chaos Lord. Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
Every time you're feeling sad, you're like, it's Chaos Lord.
Mm.
Or my letters talk about some type of plague moving north.
Mm-hmm. It's like, that and like,
But why are you changing them right now?
I was like, there's also like, the one book that I had that implies that the Brotherhood of the Last Flame was already here at the library. And like, now we've got like some crazy cultists down in the basement. That's good news. Good news bears right
Not
there.
everyone
Those are
who
like
self-flagellates is a cultist.
You're right.
I mean, it's not a normal. I mean, okay, either they're cultists or they're really into like 50 Shades of Grey.
Or maybe they have some kind
50 Shades of Orithil.
I mean, like...
Orithil is actually all grey, isn't it? So maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, early Christians. I mean...
Yeah, fucking cerise belts and that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Different from a cult. How?
We don't discuss religion or politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll say something just grossly offensive and make everyone sort of probably mildly uncomfortable and then get arrested by America.
How is it different from now, Rob?
He's not being arrested by America.
Yeah, I'm yet to be arrested by America.
Well, I'm sure the FBI agent that's like, watching my data stream finds you guys fascinating.
Yeah, I think the guy looking through my webcam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, I definitely am on some list somewhere because I watched a load of Varg Vikernes videos to learn how to play Mythorog. So, I'm probably on a watch list anyway.
That is like the 7th natural one that these new red dice have rolled.
Oh,
Good.
no.
Good.
I mean, I
In fact, no, it's bad because I do actually quite enjoy this game.
I pulled in a new set of dice into Elishan's au repertoire, and it's like rolled like 5 20s already because these are my Billy dice, and my Billy dice always treated me real nice. And
see, you're not allowed to mix dice.
Yes, I can.
No, because you're always going about how you always have specific dice.
Yeah. And Billy has been retired for like 6 months now,
So
and
you have to throw out the dice.
No.
Throw them away and buy new ones.
Exactly.
Those are the rules.
Nope. She can. And these are some pretty dice. They're black Starfield. So like for Billy, they were like gunpowder, but now they're like they're like stars.
Moonlight
or
bullshit,
moonlight,
yeah.
yeah. Moonlight
I
bullshit.
have realized
for
I
L.
do one like dice thing. Yeah, I'm not superstitious, but I do always stack or like put my D20s with the 20 at the top.
Yeah, they got to remember how to go.
Well, no, the weight sinks to the bottom.
Mm-hmm. It charges
So-
them up.
Yeah.
You want them to remember what it's like to land with the 20 face up.
Although, yeah, if I'm GMing, maybe I should put a couple on one, just especially for today. I'm actually quite nervous about today because she could go down.
TPK.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, like, if you do get a TPK, you know, like, I'll probably do some Deus Ex bullshit.
Was
Some
all the dream.
Merida.
Because I was saying that to Dylan. I was like, if I do kill you all, like, either the campaign's over, in which case I'll feel bad for seeing she wrote like 300 pages for this game so far,
Be all right.
or I do some bullshit that makes me respect myself slightly less. I think I've only ever got one TPK before. It's fucking mermaids, man. Or no, wait. Marrow. It was 2 marrows and
What?
something else. Like, I'm just remembering the TPK I got. There's a Brigade Gun game. And it was like they were on a ship. And then they got attacked by some marrows, and they were like 2nd or 3rd level. And the marrows were just like beating the shit out of them. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah. Elishan has got her black Starfield dice. She's got some purple and green, some purple and teal, and her opalite.
What sets of dice have I got on me? Because I have my dice split into sets I like and sets that are kind of ugly, but if I need extra dice, then they're in a box. And so in my bag that I use all the time, I got my 2 game science ugly sets, my like iron ore set, like this grayish kind of swirly like mist set, which is perfect for Orithel. My snow set, a bunch of Warhammer D6s, and a bunch of just like standard white pit D6s. My like ancient dice set, which are like they all look like a green version of Watto's Fate die.
Oh yeah.
Thingy. They're all like that weird. And they've got like the color in the middle, but then the edges haven't got any color, so it looks like they've faded, sort of thing. I got my bone dice. I got my druid dice, which are like red and black with green numbers, so they look like kind of thorny or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, most of them are just like standard Chessex sets.
Yeah. These dice for L, they're all Chessex except for my opalite. And then I've got Morgan's D20 sitting in the corner of my dice tray for whenever I really need to really want to fuck up your plans.
It's not actually funny. Like, it does actually.
It rolled shit until I rolled it for that insight. And now I'm all like, okay, this is my anti-rob dice. And every time I roll it for anti-rob stuff, it rolls really nice.
It is actually ridiculous. Like, if you ever watch any of his games, like, I just can't roll above a 10. It's actually impossible. I actually got really annoyed last game. I got proper salty about it. I was like laughing and stuff, but I was like, for fuck's sake, this actually isn't funny.
I also have a suede bag thing that's just full of the D8s I'm going to need for whenever L goes off the deep end.
Yeah, shit. I haven't got enough D10s for these encounters, I don't think.
So I can roll them all at once.
Yeah. Is that picture you sent me, is that got Morgan's one in it?
No. If you want to see Morgan's? It's real pretty.
I don't really want to see it, but yeah, I do. I want to know the thing that's going to ruin all my plans.
It's pretty. Deep, 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 deep. It's like I have one that's real similar that I got from like a pound of dice from Chessex.
Yeah, I would be.
I'm keeping this one separate.
Damn, that is nice.
It looks like a watermelon. It's pink and green. I kind of like it. But yeah, I've got like one that's like nearly identical from like one of my pound of dice, but it's being kept separate so that its anti-rob properties don't get diluted too much.
Or maybe you could be lucky and have all the anti-rob properties like merge onto your other dice, so that all your dice.
Yep, that's how that works.
No, that only works if like you're Will Wheaton and you're cursing dice. Curses spread, like boons do not.
I don't think. See, it's a curse. It's just one that only affects me and benefits other people.
Well, see, right now it's a benefit to me, so it wouldn't spread unless, like, you know.
Yeah, if you look, no
worries,
man. If you look though, there you can in the picture I sent you. See, you can see the like Watto dice. They're pretty cool. I like them. They're really ugly, but that's kind of why I like them. It's because they're just really like weird looking old.
Right. I like those ones that have like the white and green with like the black lettering.
Yeah, that's the ones I'm talking about.
Oh, those are. Oh,
yeah, because they're like faded.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you a close up when the game's over or something. Because Dylan's back. Is everyone else back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, let's go. So, yeah, you can see these 7 people total in this room. 1 kneeling in the pool, flagellating himself, and the other 6 standing cross-armed in the balcony or under the balcony. And as you begin walking down the stairs, they don't move.
Do we have the telepathic bond up?
You do. Although you are not in it.
You didn't turn up.
Right. Okay.
But you know that L can communicate that way with you silently if you signal.
Right. So am I in the front of the line?
You're wherever you want to be in the line.
So I'll look back to Elishan and give her the message signal, whatever that is. Point in his brain.
2 fingers at on the forehead.
Yeah.
Jedi shit.
And I'll cast message and say, like, what is it?
I don't know. What are we doing? Am I supposed to kill these guys?
She'll cast it again. I honestly
you
don't know.
Well, do you want to talk to them first, or do you want to kill them before they realize we're here?
And then she'll do the whole like telephone conferencing thing and be like, if Remy wants to know if we're going to talk to these guys or if we're just going to like go kill them or let them know that we're here. What are we doing?
Tell them I want stuffed crust. All right, you're completely ignored by your party.
I mean, are they moving or?
No, they have not moved.
The man is still whipping himself.
If I'm looking around the room, not that I have a whole lot of experience with this stuff, but does Remy see any kind of like sigils or anything obviously?
There are no religious paraphernalia. There are no symbols that you can see. It's pretty barren, apart from the pool.
Okay.
Which is like 6 inches deep.
Is it so? If I were to walk into the room, I would have to wade through this pool to get to the guy in the middle of it.
It's about I think 15 feet in diameter, and the room's probably 60 feet. So it's just in the center.
Okay.
Would you like me to speak to them? He says into the group call, not including Remy.
I mean, if we want to talk to them. Remy was wanting to know what our course of action was. We can all talk to them together.
All right. My vote is to at least say something. And then he touches his chest and casts Mage Armor.
All right. What would you like to do?
I will let Remy know that Byron and the rest of us want to try and talk to these folks first. And then I guess we'll walk forward.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to like go down the stairs to like get to the
So now-
flagellating guy.
Yeah, they're all facing you. Or they're looking in the direction, or they're standing facing the direction that you are standing in.
So
They
they
don't-
haven't moved to look
They
at
don't
us.
react, no.
Right.
They've like turned their heads to like watch us, but they're not moving.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that I don't think Byron could probably see that because since he doesn't have dark vision. But yeah, Elishan would be like, they're looking at us in the telepathic bond, and because she knows that Byron can't see that, and I guess we continue walking down towards the.
Yeah, it's not dark in here. It's
Oh,
just
you said he couldn't see it earlier.
in the shadows it's really dark. But
Well, you
now
said
that
he's-
you're sort of coming into the room, it is a bit easier to see.
Okay, never mind.
I was just saying, like, as you're coming down the stairs, you wouldn't notice because they're unmoving and in the shadows. But,
Gotcha.
yeah.
What is the light source in this room?
There are some like twinkling lights on the ceiling. It looks like
Okay.
of a minor magical variety. They don't react as you approach.
And the man continues to whip himself. Does he look up to watch us walk down the stairs or anything?
They don't react as you approach, including him.
Okay.
Remy says, "All right."
You see his head sort of move slightly, and he begins looking up, but he doesn't stop whipping himself. And
You know, I know a lady that'll do that for you if you pay her.
his eyes kind of narrow as though he's struggling to see you. Continues to whip himself. You see he's kind of crying as well.
The magic that I detect on him, is it like, do I get the sense that it's like controlling him or like making him do this?
No?
No?
It appears divine.
It appears to be divine. Okay.
Which I don't know if it tells you, but that's what I'm giving you instead of a, like, what's it called? Instead of a school of magic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, divine is a school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Well, there's divinity.
Divination is a school.
Yeah,
of magic.
divination is a school.
There's
of
divine
So what's-
magic and arcane magic, and then within both of those, there are schools of magic.
Yeah.
Damn, it's so complicated.
magic.
Yeah,
I mean,
all right, whatever. Continue. He's not going to react.
Is there anything we want from this guy? Or,
Shit, I guess it's evocation magic, apparently, which seems like some bullshit.
Hmm.
All right.
Kareen, do you sense anything?
No.
So he doesn't sense evil or anything
Yeah,
like that?
I assume you mean divine sense.
Yeah.
No. They're not undead fiends or whatever it is that he looks for.
Celestials.
No.
Celestial fiends are undead.
No.
So I don't get the sense that this man is being controlled to whip himself then.
You do not.
Okay.
you know anything about Cathane the Wisher?
Continues whipping himself.
I'm talking to you.
Do you speak common?
Continues to whip himself. And now he's just like staring at you. All of you as he does it.
About to take a piss in this guy's pool. I got a bladder full of moonshine, buddy.
Baron gets mildly impatient with everyone standing around. So he's going to walk down off the stairs or something to the edge of the pool to face this man.
All right.
He kneels down to one knee to like be more on his level with him.
Okay.
Do I see? I've been told potentially whether he's undead or not, and he's not supposedly. So this man is alive and whipping and regenerating and crying.
All of the above.
Can I try and gauge some sort of intent from him, like
Yeah, sure.
in his eyes? Like, does he
Inside
not
check.
want to be doing this, or like does he see it as the only like defined path? I don't.
Make an insight check.
I will.
There's
18.
a weird crackling sight coming from your mic, Dan.
I'm not sure what I can.
I don't know if there's anything obvious that it could be. It's not too bad. It's just that every time you talk, sort of
Is
happens.
it still crackling?
No, it's not when you talk so much. I think it's a movement, like a
Yeah,
it's like the cable in the jack kind of thing.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
So be very still.
Be very, very quiet.
Is this any
Well, don't
better?
actually. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not hearing it, but it's sort
Okay.
yeah, that's a lot better. All right.
Cool.
Insight check.
18.
All right. His expression is fairly stone-faced, though he is crying. You get the impression that this is maybe some kind of divine mission he's set for himself. He appears resolute. He's not happy, clearly, but by his lack of action so far, you believe him to feel this is his duty, perhaps?
Does he appear to understand us when we're talking to him, or is there like any look of confusion? when
There
we
is no expression on his face other than his crying and his slightly squinting eyes as he tries to see you in the darkness.
Does he even seem to struggle to see me?
No, he can see you.
Does he look
you-
vaguely human?
He's a human.
He is human, but
He's
like,
a,
is he recognizably human from the culture that I am aware of, or a culture from
he looks
600
like
years ago?
no. Well, I mean, not the amount of reading you've done. You're not sure. But he does not look like an 8-foot tall person who would fit into one of those giant pieces of armor. If that's what you're
Right.
asking.
So I guess Rose will kind of like walk over and kind of like squat down in front of him
Okay.
and kind of pull out her holy symbol and be like, what god do you serve?
He looks down at it and kind of follows your arm up and looks at your face and begins to stand up.
Remy draws his swords.
You hear him say something in a very harsh sounding language. Maybe a couple words here and there. You might recognize Alan Byron. He says, "Catch Riley," and the people behind him begin to walk forwards. Remy,
What was he speaking? Like,
Orathil.
or okay.
Remy,
Mm-hmm.
a voice in your head says, "Turn around." Well, it doesn't. It says, "Turn around." Cathane's
Fuck
voice.
you.
All right. Oh, fucking crit as well. Perfect. All right. So, oh shit. I should have done. All right. You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage on the first one.
Wait, what the hell is happening?
You're being attacked.
Being attacked from behind. I think your host was trying to help you.
So
And
did they roll to hit?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
okay.
crit, I said.
Okay.
So yeah, actually, yeah, you take 15 on the first one, and does a 26 hit you?
It does. Yeah.
Okay, then you take a 21 on the second one, as you just suddenly hear this, or everyone else kind of hears this thwacking noise, and you turn around to see an enormous, kind of about 8 or 9 feet tall, deformed, hideous creature just bash Remy with a club and send
Did
him
it
flying.
appear out of nowhere, or did I get a perception?
You didn't
check?
hear it, and then suddenly it attacked you, and no one saw it until it hit you. So L and actually it would probably just be L and then the NPCs basically saw this just enormous creature coalesce behind Remy from nowhere in just like this kind of grayish black fog, and just crush him immediately. You see the 6 people behind him walk into the light, and they all begin transforming and turning into these enormous creatures as well. The man in the pool just continues flagellating himself. Let's roll initiative.
So there's 7 of these creatures.
There are 7 creatures and the flagellating
One man.
Yeah.
But you said he stood up, right?
He stood up, but he's continuing to.
Not threatening them.
He stood up and continued to hit himself. He didn't hit his, like, he didn't step towards you. He just stood up, spoke, and hit himself again.
Damn it.
I think
9.
what Byron was saying, like, if Rose like took his side with, he was explaining like his insight. I think Byron's working theory was this man was feeding. I think this man is feeding something, perhaps to keep it at bay.
Interesting thought.
That was my going theory. He was probably talking as monsters came in.
Yeah, because I guess Remy and Alishon were still back on the stairs, so I guess it kind of explains why Alishon saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. 11 for Remy.
Oh,
9 for L.
I got 18, luckily. The shadowy figures that stepped forward, were they 8-foot tall men who turned to 8-foot tall monsters, or
They are normal men who are turning into 8-foot tall monsters
right?
before your eyes. All right, Byron, you're up first.
With concern, look towards Remy as he like gets hit to the floor or whatever.
Yeah, so he's just like smashed into the ground in front of you.
And then I'd like take a step back and see all of the other creatures coming at me and Rose, and then finally let my eyes rest on the guy in the center. He still seems entirely like. Does he seem like? I know he's crying, but does he seem sad that we've caused something to happen? Like,
Nope.
Okay.
His expression has not changed.
okay. Oh boy. I am going to cast mirror image almost as a flinch kind of it's not his reaction to cast it, but like he almost flinches from the incoming people and then just multiplies himself on the spot.
He casts it in a reactive manner.
Yes, in a reactive manner, exactly. How far? Where is the nearest escape route?
The nearest escape route is where Remy, Alishan, and one of these enormous creatures is standing. So you see, they're huge. They're well muscled. They're kind of hunchbacked with their heads sort of lower down, and there's just these weird like welts and marks all over their kind of dark skin.
Okay, how far will my 30 feet movement get me back towards the stairs before these monsters close on me?
You can get like halfway up the stairs.
Okay.
If you want to go past the guy standing in between them.
Yeah, sure.
He will get an opportunity attack. Obviously, you've got
The
like
whip guy.
5 of you. Or no, the guy who smashed Remy. Yeah.
Okay.
So what does he have to attack? Like
My mage armor, and we've got the
mirror image. I mean, yeah. Like what does that do? Does that mean a disadvantage, or does it mean...
No, you have to roll to hit, and then we see if it ends up on a mirror image. But
Okay.
Bobby's white circle is still up, I think
White
is what
circle is
Grant is
still up.
asking.
So that's going to be a 19 to hit and a natural 1.
Okay.
And then it's a 1d4 to see if it hits you, is it? Right?
No, because what I'm going to use, because I've never got to use this before in all the times that I've played Byron, is Illusionary Self. So as a reaction, once per short rest, I can just cause one of your attacks to miss, as he's not actually where he was. It was actually illusion.
Okay, so this just enormous club just smashes down where you...
So I'm running, but as are the 3 mirror images, and then you think it looks like he's about to smash Byron, and then he wasn't actually Byron. It was just another image created by him, and you see Byron like probably falter and kind of run around this club.
Yeah, right. Perfect. Yeah, and there's like a... as it does so. Rose and cream.
I guess I'm gonna move back towards the group as well.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians.
Oh, okay, damn. Sure.
So that's what I do.
Okay, so does that that would probably hit the one who's already there?
Yeah.
Or do they have to do it on their turn?
It's on my turn, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can get the guy who smashed Remy if you're moving back towards the group.
Yeah.
Cool. Go for it. What
What's
damage
a wisdom
did you take?
save?
Was it 7? Wisdom save. 19.
That is a save.
Mm.
But he's gonna take half damage.
Half damage.
So he takes 6 points of damage.
6. All right. Yeah. So your little Lathander angels just begin slicing into this guy, and he kind of howls a little bit, like, which I guess is more of a growl, but whatever. What's Green doing?
He's gonna follow me back, and he's gonna use his Channel Divinity Sacred Weapon.
All right. God damn. Is that all you can do on his turn?
Yeah, it's his action.
Cool. What were you saying, Dylan? Sorry?
Oh, I was just curious what Kreen's charisma modifier is.
It is +3.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
He's cute as fuck. Remy, shoot him.
Remy's gonna turn around and unleash his 4 attacks on the guy that smashed him.
Sure.
Oh, good. That probably hits. That probably misses. Actually, they're pretty big, so who knows? Does a 13 hit?
A 13 does not hit.
Okay. But a
14.
14 or better?
Yep.
Okay. 2 more strikes. Then I got a 20 and a 23. So 3 hits?
Yep.
Am I still getting the bonus D4?
What, from the the gauntlet?
That was
From the spell?
Creed's,
no,
but that was
that
only a
was
minute.
ages ago. Yeah.
That's Creed's thing. Okay.
So
So
it's
the
minus D4 from the fucking...
from the gauntlet. Yep. That shit is dope. There we go. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, plus 12 is 31 points of damage.
Yeah, you just begin slicing into this thing, and its flesh like cuts really easily. As you're just like laying into it, almost like necrotic dead flesh or whatever.
Sure.
They're not undead or anything like that.
Yeah. Remy is uncharacteristically quiet as he fights. Just sort of like, you know, he's sort of moving less and a little less active. Like he's making his strikes, he's focused, but there's a little bit less pep in his
All right.
attack.
the first one, the one that smashed you before, is going to immediately retaliate on their turn.
Okay.
All right. Firstly, it holds up its offhand and begins speaking this guttural, horrific language. I need a charisma saving throw.
Oh, I know what these are.
From who?
From Remy.
Okay.
From Remy.
With a -1, that is a 5.
Okay. So you just hear, on theme for Remy at the moment, you hear terrible voices inside your head that just burn your mind, and you take a bunch of damage. You take 23 psychic damage.
Ouch.
And it's going to make 2 attacks against you.
Okay. I'm at half hit points.
God damn. It nowhere near hits you either. So it just smashes down, and you kind of stumble backwards, clutching your head, and it doesn't move, and you weren't where I was expecting you to be.
Sweet.
Next, the others are going to go. So the 6 of them begin walking forwards. Okay. One of them is gonna do the horrific psychic attack on Al, one on Byron, one on Rose, one on Arthas, one on Crean.
I will say, if we're defending on the stairs, I don't know how big the stairs is, but is it big enough for all these large shadow ogre creatures to get on?
Right, I mean, I was in the doorway, so
yeah,
you have to move past.
They won't be able to get to you.
But this thing is ranged.
This thing has 60-foot range, and the room is 60 feet in diameter, I believe I said. So, yeah. I need charisma saves from all of you.
Oh, bear in mind we get the +3 from Crean, right?
If you're within 10
feet?
feet of him, isn't it? Yeah.
I thought we were defending this stairs kind of roughly together. So.
Well, not everyone's moved there yet. I think most people have, but Elle hasn't. Oh no, you were already there to begin with.
I was with Remy. Yeah, I was with Remy.
The only people who weren't on the stairs managed to go first and get to the stairs, I thought.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I failed.
I don't know. Remy's not within 10 feet, I don't think, because Crean's kind of up on the stairs. So I don't know, but you can get there quite easily. I mean, 10 feet's such a small space. But
am I making another saving throw?
No, you're not. You're not.
Okay.
Just everyone else.
For L. You said charisma, right?
Yeah, charisma. Arthas fails his one. So
25 for Rose and 24 for Crean.
Okay. Okay, Arthas takes 25 points of psychic damage. Okay, you both succeed, so you take half damage. I'm just going to roll your damage once. Okay, you take half of 28, so 14 damage to each of you and Crean. What does Byron get?
I failed.
Okay. You take 28 points of psychic damage. Alishan?
Well, that's burned through all of the hit points.
28.
Okay, you take half. Oh, yeah, they rolled the worst on you. You take half of 35. So you take 17
Oh, jeez.
points of psychic damage. As all of these things just begin chanting at each of you. And that's their turn. Alishan, it's your go.
Okay, so they are all lined up on the stairs in front of me, yes?
They're not on the stairs. They're just kind of walking. So they're kind of in the middle. They're probably just around the pool. They're nowhere near you yet. Well,
Okay.
they're probably like 30, 20, 25, 30 feet away.
Okay, so you have to set the scene for me a little bit more then, because we're on the stairs one.
So you guys are all either in between the two sets of stairs or on the stairs, and these things are slowly advancing towards the stairs.
Where were they from
They were right opposite the stairs. So
Okay.
they were 60 feet away from the stairs. Now they're like 20 feet away from the stairs.
So about how many of these guys are within 30 feet of me? Like
All of them are.
All
Yeah.
of them? Okay, then as you know, Elishan gets hit with the psychic damage, she is going to react in kind of taking that pain in, and she's going to kind of go to her knees and strike the ground and cast Destructive Wave. Because that will be each creature I choose within 30 feet of me must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 5d6 thunder damage, as well as 5d6 radiant damage.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, you can get all 7 of them in there.
Pretty sweet.
Including the flagellating guy, I imagine.
Yeah, if you want to hit him.
I'm gonna hit him. Just fuck that guy.
Okay, what's the DC?
17.
And it's a what saving throw? Charisma.
Constitution.
Constitution. Oh, okay. And DC 17.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, so. Okay. 2 of them fail.
They will be knocked prone as well.
Okay. So the one fighting Remy goes flying and knocked prone, and one of the other ones goes knocked prone.
And that
Oh, actually, shit. Yeah. That's right.
9. What's 9 plus 8? 17. Okay. So that's 22 thunder damage, 17 radiant on that Destructive Wave.
Okay. And that's all halved, right? If they succeeded?
Yes, if they succeeded.
Okay.
Otherwise, that is... So 11 and 8 for those who saved, and 22 and 17 for the two that failed.
It's 37 or 19.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, sure. Okay. Wait, you go.
That was my action. And as a bonus action, I'm going to inspire Remy.
Uh-huh.
All right. It's Arthas's turn, unless there's something else you wanted to do.
No, that's it. That's my action
Okay.
and my bonus, and I'm not going to move away from Remy. So
Okay, Arthas.
everyone's running towards us, right? So I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Stay
Arthas
with
turns
him.
into a werewolf and begins savaging the one that you knock prone. His advantage on these. Okay, yeah, that's a crit or a 4, and that's a 15 or a 2. So yeah, both hit. And they take a bunch of damage. Well, Remy can still do more. Okay. So he just lunges on it and begins just like scratching into it. Pretty much exactly like what happens if you get that awesome kill cam in Skyrim when you're a werewolf and you're just sitting on it, just like clawing it to death. Byron.
Does a fair chunk of damage.
Yeah, he does a good amount. Remy did more.
Sure. Okay. Byron takes. I imagined him was somewhere like in the middle. I think how I see it is Remy is at the foot of the stairs fighting things now with Arthas, and I'm a couple of feet back or something further up the stairs.
Yeah.
I'm going to take some steps down to Remy when perhaps with this guy being knocked over, he has a moment to take a breath. Put a hand on his shoulder, and I go, Remy, I know you aren't entirely in the mood, but please just trust me. This won't hurt you.
Yes.
Finally. And then I whisper to him, beg room. And he said he becomes a being of pure blue flame.
What?
Finally. This is from like
unless someone
season
counts
1 episode.
Remy goes,
Ah, I'm on fire.
But
So
Remy is incorrect. Remy is fire.
Yeah, he is fire. Anyone or anything that touches you takes 3d6 fire damage and becomes ignited. You gain resistance to non-magical piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning damage, and your melee attacks have an additional 3d6 fire damage.
Each
Jesus
one.
Christ.
What the fuck spell is this?
And he hasn't used it this whole fucking time.
It's because I travel at such a bloody pace, and I haven't had much chance. Usually,
Remy is doing an
combat's
additional
over.
12d6 damage a turn, potentially.
Well,
And you're inspired.
yes, I am.
And then I take a step back. It now lit in the glow of my fiery friend.
Yeah, you touch him though, so you take 3d6 damage. No, I imagine like Byron's hand kind of goes the same while he's casting it. So bullshit. Anyway, yeah. So you are imbued with the power of Silivicus Serventicidicus, or whatever his fucking name is.
I'm sure Remy can't pronounce that.
Yes, Rob can't. Rose and Cream.
How many are standing within the range of the Spirit Guardians? It's 15.
15 feet. One is lying down in that range.
All right, well, they're going to wallop on him. It's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay. Yep, no.
11 points of damage.
11. This poor dude. Yeah, he's looking real rough, but still alive. As he's just like fighting off Arthas.
So I'm gonna kind of brandish my shield. And I'm gonna cast Chain Lightning.
Fuck yes, you are. Do that shit.
I guess the first target was it one target in range and then 3 additional targets?
I'm open to that page. Yeah. So yeah, 4 targets total.
Okay.
They all need to make dex saves.
Yeah.
They are not dexterous. DC?
Would be 17, right?
Yeah. They all fail. 10d8. Yeah, damn.
Uh, 38 points of damage.
Nice.
All right. The guy's on 111 health, and he has 149 hit points total, and you did 38, which takes him exactly to 149. So you kill the one that Arthas is on, and the other 3 take 39. So
How far did the lightning leap from the initial target?
30 feet.
Is it 30 feet? Jesus.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous spell because it's like 7th level or some shit.
6th level, but
Whatever.
what is? And then Kreen is gonna cast Crusader's Mantle.
Oh god damn! You guys are actually gonna do a stupid amount of damage. Dylan, do you need me to send you some extra d6s?
No. I'm going to use an online dice roller for this.
All right. Well, is that Kreen's turn? Is that an action?
Yep,
Shake the
that's-
mantle? Okay.
It's an action, yep.
All right,
How
Remy.
how many people are affected by Crusader's Mantle?
It's anyone within 30 feet.
That's everybody.
Yeah, but it's only
that's
weapon
all-
attacks.
All of you. Yeah.
So Remy sort of takes a brief moment while a foe is on the ground and he's all of a sudden ignited. And he is just so overwhelmed with all the magical shit that's happened to him today that it like just barely phases him, and he just dashes as this blue streak of flame towards the
And
prone.
he chooses not to attack and lies down.
All right. He's like, fuck this.
Go on. Let's
But no, he'll go ahead and take his attacks at the prone guy on the floor.
the prone guy's dead.
Oh, okay. Is there anybody else?
There is another one that was prone. You said I got 2.
There is another one who's prone.
Okay, yeah. I'll move to that guy, take my first
All
attack at advantage. Do.
You are actually going to kill him straight up.
That is a 20 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. I'll go ahead and
I'd say just roll all the attacks and then all the damage, just because otherwise you're going to have to remember a bunch of numbers.
Okay, so first one's a hit.
Forever.
Second one's a hit. Third one's a natural 20. And the offhand attack is a hit. So that's 4 hits, one of which is a crit.
Okay, so that's 2 rapier, 2 dagger, is it? Or is it
So
4 rapier?
No, 3 rapier.
3 rapier attacks and 1 dagger
Okay,
attack.
so that's
So
3d8, a d4.
3d8.
And then-
Well, hold on. So one of the rapiers is doubled, so that'll be
It's 48.
an extra. So 4d8
48.
plus
D4.
4d4 plus 5d4, so it'd be 5d4 total, and
Right.
then 12d6.
12d6, but no, because it's 16d6
One of those
Oh,
is a
God.
crit, so one of those
Because
is
So 16 total.
plus
God.
the Crusader's Mantle is an
Oh,
additional what? Sorry,
D4.
attack?
D4 per each attack. Right?
Yes, 44.
So plus 4
9d4.
5d4.
So it's a total of 9d4.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
So roll. Let's see. So 23 damage on the D4, 59 damage on the D6, and 21 on the D8.
So that's 44 plus 59, was it?
Yeah.
So 93 damage.
No, more than that. So that's
44
60,
plus
70, 93. Yeah, 93.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
My mental fucking maths. Okay.
Jesus Christ, you're a nuclear bomb.
Apparently.
I feel. Actually, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that was 48, 9d4, 12d6.
16d6.
16d6.
This
thing's dead.
No. 9d4, 16d6, and 4d8.
Is that thing dead? Because it took like 39 from me.
Yeah, it's dead. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's dead.
Is there any carryover damage that I could like? If am I within?
No,
like,
you actually just killed it.
Oh, okay.
Only just, but that was a ridiculous sum of damage. So imagine everyone just kind of stops and is like, "Oh damn!" As this thing just dies screaming on fire.
Well, even the flagellator is like, damn, son.
Yeah.
Speaking of the flagellator, if I'm not threatened by anybody, I'll move to him and get ready to attack him next round.
Sure thing.
Okay. The
What
only
now?
one not attacking us, and everyone
Alright.
is attacking him.
All I saw is that he said some shit and then I got smashed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of why Elle
When you murder
waved him.
him, and whatever he is feeding or keeping back comes alive.
So
I'm
the
just really
remaining
pissed.
5
I mean, So you
giants.
see, you see Remy charging. You could tell him not
Yeah,
to kill the
yeah.
guy.
I know. I will be shouting because
This-
like Byron was annoyed that Elishan hit him because he
Okay.
thinks he's fascinating and also a worry.
Well,
So-
when Elishan hit him, did he have a reaction?
The thing is, I can only talk once within 6 seconds, and I had
Yeah.
to tell Remy that he'd be okay when I set him on fire. So I prioritized that.
Yeah.
So I will next turn.
Okay. The remaining 5 are all going to converge on Remy because everyone else is up by the stairs and Remy is like in their zone.
Full on Super Saiyan.
Yeah, so you're taking 10 attacks.
They're taking
Okay.
3d6 each
And
time
that's
they hit him.
I just want you to know that's me going easy on you. No, they're not. Their clubs are taking 3d6 and catching
Okay.
fire.
That sounds like DM bullshit to me, but okay.
Okay, so let's say this, right? There's
the
a
word?
bonfire in front of you. Okay, if you hit it with a stick, is the stick going to catch fire, or are you suddenly going to burst into flames?
I agree
Fair.
entirely with you, Rob.
Considering their clubs are longer than Remy,
Okay, fine.
it's not like they're hitting him with like 30-centimeter rulers. Jesus. They're just flicking him in the ear.
They're a bunch
Wrapping him on the knuckles like a Catholic nun.
Right.
Yeah, they're a bunch of-
What's your armor class, Remy? Just
Currently 24.
Okay, 24. So they need to roll a 15 or higher natural to hit you. So 1 attack hits so far at 5.
They're gonna like the one that looks like it's gonna hit him. Like Elishan's gonna try and cutting words it.
Okay, well, 2 out of those hit. One of them is cutting words and was going to hit by like 2. So, yeah.
I can still roll it. Hold on. What is my cutting words up to now? My
It's your
oh,
inspiration
a D10. Sweet.
Roll a 1.
As it comes down on Remy, she's gonna like throw out a hand and say fuck you, dude, and because I can't think of anything clever, but I roll a 10.
Remy's rubbing off on you.
Okay, so
It's like a
the
fuck
one-
yourself, you fucking fuck.
the one attack that hits you out of all of those deals 25 bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
Alright, is it
Christ.
magic?
No.
Then they take half.
So you take 12 bludgeoning damage from 10 attacks. However, I was going to do some DM bullshit in your favor, but then Corinne had to open her mouth. So every single one of you motherfuckers is going to make, including the NPCs, is going to make me another charisma save. Because they get to use this ability every turn, but I was like, no, that's ridiculous. This ability is great. Actually, no, it's not every single one of you. Well, it's every single one of you, but
So you get it
doesn't
every
hit.
turn and attacks?
And 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What are we?
Playing it attacks.
Charisma
twice
saving
the
throw again.
club.
Yeah, but what are we looking for? What's the number? Because mine is.
Oh,
It's a 15 for me, even with.
you save. It's a 14 you're looking
Oh,
for.
thank God.
Arthur saves.
Because of my -1.
Remy, did you get 2?
I sure did.
Oh, I was gonna, but my bardic inspiration can't.
Oh, yeah.
20. Nope. 23 for L.
You save. Remy, you take 20 points of psychic damage.
I got a 17.
You save.
What about Arthur and Cream?
Arthur saves. Crean doesn't get hit because there's not enough of them to hit all of you yet, and they're
Oh,
going to avoid Crean because they can't see him, and because Crean's green.
Clearly the favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Al and Arthur's take 30, halved to 15 each. Byron, you take. Oh, fucking hell. You take 19, halved to 9.
okay.
And Rose is the other person. 36 halved to 18.
Yeah.
How many did you take again, Dan? I'm sorry. I'm trying to take notes.
9 damage.
9. How much?
9.
9. Okay. Okay, good.
9.
9. 9.
We're on campaign, motherfuckers. So yeah, these things just begin like screeching, one at each of you, and you just feel your minds just being assaulted. As Remy is just like dodging their attacks willy-nilly.
Remy's looking pretty fucked up. If you can tell through all the blue fire, he is down to less than like a third of his hit points.
Oh yeah. Alishan.
Yeah. Elishan, after seeing everybody take a bunch of damage, she's going to do the hand to her chest thing, and she's going to start singing in Elvish as she casts Aura Vitality, and it's for those who speak Elvish, probably some song about pretty healing spirits and the starlight and blah 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 blah. But that's going to be I think my action this go. Back an Aura of Vitality. Yeah, one action casting, and then my bonus action will be to heal Remy 7 hit points.
Hooray!
Okay. So after is that your turn, by the way, Al?
Yeah.
Okay, so after feeling this intense pain, Arthas looks around and sees everyone kind of reeling from the same shit. He begins to roar just into the air because he's a wolf, and you see this green light kind of inside him, sort of illuminating his fur as it's traveling down his arms and his legs. And he's gonna cast a spell because he gets to do that when he's a wolf. So, okay, everyone heals. Oh shit, that's good. Okay, everyone heals 18 hit points
Nice.
as he gets mass cure wounds. And he's just roaring, and you like see kind of the green light like knitting your own bodies back together. Mr. Rutherford.
I just changed my damage, and now you've healed it all away again. So just give me 1 second while I correct that again. 75 now. So Byron shouts out, "Leave!" Desist from assaulting the flagellator.
to walk it back and go with the fancier word.
Yes, I had to. Leave the flagellator alone, you guys.
And then Byron
Can't really contribute because everyone is on Remy, and I can't really tidal wave through all of that. So I am going to fire a firebolt, I think. Oh no, no, because it's concentration, so I can't do anything else fancy really. So yeah, firebolt away. Yep, that's like a 23 to hit.
Yep.
And ogre. Oh, we're level 11 now. So am I on 3d10?
You are on 3d10.
I should have checked that. Sweet.
Dan, we're still getting a bit of that mic bullshit again. I don't know if you.
I heard that scratching just that moment ago. I don't think that was
that
me.
might have been me.
Oh right, maybe.
Yeah, that sounded like Dylan beard scratching, not Dan scratching.
Oh, that's a lovely sound.
That's 18 damage. Fire is
18.
very damn.
All right. All right. So yeah, you just hit one of the ones that's looking real rough next to Remy. Whose turn? Rose and Cream.
Bonus action spiritual weapon.
Sure.
21 to hit.
21 hits.
$10 points of force damage. And then Sacred Flame, the same one if you still...
Yeah. That's not going to be a success.
13 points of Radiant.
Alright, so he just is just on fire, and next to Remy who's on fire. But you see he's not going for the pull, he's just kind of swinging himself around, just shouting.
Did Spirit Guardians drop?
I don't think anyone's in them, is there?
It's only
Not
50 foot
range.
range.
Yeah.
And then Kreen's gonna roll up and make his 2 attacks.
So Cream just leaps from the balcony or some awesome shit.
That's an 18 and then crit.
Yeah, both hit.
Oh, how much might is she gonna put in that crit? Because that's lovely. All them double D8s.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's only gonna be a level 2. Hold on a second. That's 35 points of damage on that.
Yeah, he eviscerates the one that you hit with the spiritual weapon and Sacred Flame. Just coming in, and just begins like chopping it up. And it's like that scene in God, this is making me kind of hurt saying this, but it's like that scene in X-Men Origins Wolverine where he's like cutting the ladder and it's falling. It's just like that with the thing's legs. He's just slicing into it. And it falls over. Yeah, exactly. The worst scene in all of Wolverine.
Oh man, I don't know, man. The one where he fights the Gundam in the third movie was pretty, or the second movie was pretty stupid.
There's some dumb Wolverine.
So, is there one that's nearby for him to have that second hit?
Oh yeah, totes.
And so that's going to be 12 points. Yeah, that's going to be 12 points of damage for that one.
Awesome.
Actually, yeah.
All right. Yeah, that one's still alive, but it doesn't look good.
So he killed one?
He killed one.
Sweet.
It is their turn again.
So there's 4 left now?
There are 4 left.
Okay.
Is
All
it
of which,
Remy?
one is going for Crean now.
Wait a minute, one is Remy, right? Or Remy's first?
Wait, isn't it my turn?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
My
Remy
apologies,
goes before the creatures.
Yeah. So, but did Byron tell him not to attack the dude?
He
I
did.
shouted desist to assaulting the flagellator.
Oh,
You can
right,
take
right,
that how you want.
Right. Remy looks. He goes, "Ah."
Remy, no!
No, he'll go for one of the monsters.
We're surrounded by them right now.
Yeah. First attack, one's a natural 20, one is a miss, I think. So that's a 13, which I know misses, right?
Correct.
Okay, but I'm going to use the inspiration to make it a hit. Yeah, that'll.
Yeah, buddy.
So that's 2 hits. One's a natural 20. Then I got a 20, non-natural, and a 23.
Yeah.
So that's 4 attacks, all hit. One's a crit again. Dice. All right.
Did you leave it up on your dice roller?
I did not, no. Because I figured it was going to be different this time. So I think it was, what do we say, 16d4, 12d4?
Yeah, it would be 16d6 because you crit on one of them again.
16d6. Right, so not 16d4. So it was
9d4. Yeah.
9d4. Is that including the ones from Crean?
Yes. And
Okay.
48.
And
Exactly
48.
the same round you had last.
Yeah, exactly. Shit. So that one's 25, 20, and 57 puts me at 75, 70, 82, 102.
Yeah, boy! Broke that
It's
triple
still
digits.
Woo!
Okay.
Everybody's like,
one you hit is still
holy
alive.
shit. Well, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it just begins like screaming and burning as you just lay into him.
So Remy has sort of like lost his usual joy for combat, but there's this like meticulous murderousness to what he's doing, you know. And there's a little bit of extra like pinpoint accuracy to his blows. It's like a, you know, like a
He's
sort of
clinical.
like a black resoluteness that is going on with him right now.
On any other day, this would be the greatest day of Remy's life.
Right.
All right, yeah, he's still alive, this one. But before Remy can do anything else, it's his turn. And this one's going to fucking cold cock you back with terrible rolls, or a terrible roll. One is a 23 to hit.
Current arm class is a 24. If I still have the thing from Elishan.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you saying, Dan?
And 4 shadows ogres left still. 3?
Yeah.
4. Okay.
One of them's going to go for Cream. One is a 26 to hit and a 15 to hit.
The
15 misses.
Elishan's gonna try and cutting words the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you know, like goes for Crean, and she's like, "No, not my little buddy." And it's like, "What little buddy? The fuck?" And be a 4 on the cutting words.
So that puts it at 22 to hit.
Yeah, that's still a hit.
Oh,
Little buddy gets smashed.
she
tried.
I know.
A little.
22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I also didn't add in my my dex bonus to any of that damage. I totally forgot.
So
All right.
107?
Figure it
Fuck
out and then come back to me. In the meantime, I'm going to punch you a bunch because the other two are going to go for you. So
so it'd be an extra 20 points of damage, right?
okay, you get hit 28. Okay, that's going to miss, and that one's going to hit 26. So you take another 2 hits from these guys.
Said Creek took 22 damage.
Yep.
Yeah. Remy takes 40 points of bludgeoning damage total.
Half to 20.
Thank you. Forgot about that.
Yeah, and they're not going to use the special fuck your mind ability this time.
Why not?
Because I've decided that they're not. Except one of them who didn't hit. And he's going to hit Byron.
Do it.
Yeah, okay. Make me a charisma saving.
I shall probably fail, but we will have a look. 15 again, actually, even with my minuses.
Damn it. You still take half.
Yep.
All right. Oh, that's a good roll. 31. Half to 15. Psychic. Alishan.
Unless I haven't updated my max health. Oops.
Alishan is going to use her bonus action to heal Remy once again. Yay for another 6 points. And she's gonna like frown and be all like, he's still really, really rough. And so she's going to cast Healing Word at a 2nd level.
But you used your bonus action. So it's
Oh, that's right. I can't. Oh, damn it. Thanks, Dan. So I can't do that. I was gonna do some good. Okay, so not that then. I shall. I'm going to. Fine. I do Dissonant Whispers 2nd level, so as I've already marked that off on my sheet. And I am going to go for the one that attacked Crean.
All right.
So like she does the handout and all that other good business, and you know the sniff snaff sniffed as she casts it, and that's gonna be a wisdom saving throw.
These guys are wise as fuck. 19.
Okay, he saves, but we'll take half of 16, so 8 damage.
8 damage. Very nice.
We're going to take 8 damage.
Okay.
And
Yeah, it's like nothing happened.
that's my go.
All right. That was a worthwhile turn. Arthas.
Hey, are you fucking? You know, not all of us can do 122 points of damage in one go
Take a
without, like, you know,
D6
a
psychic
big ass
damage,
spell. Ow! I am actually in real life. You give me a headache, Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, Arthas is going to throw himself at the one attacking as well. Oh, damn. Those 2 hits. He deals 22 damage. That's not right. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and so he's just like scratching and biting at this one in a fury of wolfishness. Back to the top, Byron. Byron.
The flagellator guys still just standing there watching all this go down.
It's still flagellating.
Still flagellating. Fair enough. I'm just getting in the word flagellate as much as possible while we can. I'm just going to firebolt on someone who looks weak, and that's a 24 to hit.
24 hits.
Sweet. Roll in Dice. I got 5, and then 5, and then 5. So 15.
All right. It's still up, but it's looking extremely damaged. It's the one that Kreen and Arthas are bashing. Rose and Kreen.
Rose is gonna cast Healing Word at 2nd level on Remy for 13.
Nice.
Noise.
And then I'm gonna Sacred Flame the one that's attacking Kreen.
Very well.
I'm just gonna make a deck save.
Oh yeah, I always forget. 19.
He makes a save.
Natural 19.
And then Kareen is going to attack.
How much healing did you do? Sorry?
13, I think it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
I rolled max. 26 and 21.
Both hit.
All right. And that's going to be 18, 18, and he's going to drop another 2nd level to add it.
No, he's not. I won't make you do that. You kill it.
Okay, thanks.
No worries.
Jade, you said you rolled max. Did you include your life cleric bonus thing?
I'm drawing a blank.
When you're a life cleric, you get additional healing hit points equal to some
Your
stuff.
level? Or something like that?
It's the level of the spell plus like 2 plus something else, maybe.
Life cleric, 5e. Hold on.
The only thing I know of is I get, or it's an additional 2 plus the spells level, right?
You get healed, but you also, all your healing magic does more healing to people.
Yeah, when you cast a spell of first a higher level that restores hit points to a creature other than you, regain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level.
I thought there was a bonus to the healing you did to them too.
Whenever you use a spell of first level or higher to restore hit points to a creature, the creature regains additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So it could be yourself or any other creature, whatever the spell level is, plus 2.
Every time you're casting, so like Sacred
Healing
Flames,
Word, anything.
So that would be an additional 4. So
yeah, so you can just keep like healing every time you cast any spell that isn't a cantrip.
There's no
Bonus
healing
spell.
cantrip.
No, but any spell.
Yeah.
Like Sacred Flame, but I think that's cantrip, isn't it?
Yep.
But like, you know, if you did Spirit Guardians, say, you should have been able to heal someone. For 2 plus whatever level Spirit Guardians is. What's Kreen doing?
Killed a dude.
he did some damage.
Yeah, does he not get another attack?
That
Or
was part of it. Yeah, it was all his 2 attacks together.
Well, yeah, okay. It'll need both those attacks to do it. Okay. In which case, Remington.
There are more giants for me to kill.
There are 3 left.
All right. Closest one.
Yep. It's looking pretty rough.
All right. 2 attacks with longsword or with rapiers. It's kind of rough. That should still put me. So I got a 16 and a 15.
Yep.
Okay. 2 more attacks. 18 hits and a 15 also hits. So 4 hits, no crits. Can't crit all the time. So that would be
12d6.
12d6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
8d4.
5d4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9d4. Right, because I get 5d4 normally.
Yeah, but I think
and then each attack gets an extra d4 from Kreen, and it's 4 attacks, so 9d4.
Yeah. Plus 3d8.
Plus
Isn't it
3d8.
8d4 because you haven't crit this turn, so one of them isn't.
No, I think we did some wonky math last time. I think I actually got more dice. But no, so it's a d4 additional for each melee attack.
Yeah.
And my dagger is a d4, so it's 5. So it's 5d4 plus an additional d4 for each attack from Kreen gives me 9 total.
9d4.
Yeah.
That is
so
crazy bananas.
yeah, it's a lot of damage. So 30, 40, 80, 3 points of damage.
Okay. Another one is turned to ash under Remy's
How much damage?
barrage of
Sorry.
brutality.
How much did you do again?
82.
82. Jesus.
Okay, so there are two remaining who have only been hit by L's like first.
Oh, no. Sorry. I did it again. So add an additional 20 on there for, for his dex modifier +1 weapons.
It was dead with like a quarter of that. So
could I carry it over to the next one?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, a quarter of 4 hits is one.
I mean, I was lying about it being a quarter. I think it's close to a half. So
whatever you think is appropriate, Robbie.
One of the other ones takes just damage from just watching his friend get restorated.
He takes some psychic damage?
Yeah. I'll say he takes 60.
Okay.
All right. So one of them now looks pretty rough. And the other one looks like the only thing that hit him was L's first spell. That, like, whatever.
Destructive wave.
Whatever. But it's their turn. One of them gonna try and crush a cream and fucking miss by a mile with a natural 4 and a natural 6. The other one's gonna squish Remy and fucking miss by a mile. And then Byron and Rose will make charisma saving throws.
Natural 20. Woo.
Liar.
Still gonna take a whole bunch of damage. But woo.
26.
God damn you, succeeding bitches.
Oh, I'm sorry, 25.
Oh, okay, you fail.
Okay.
Okay, you take Rose, you take 25, half to 12. And Byron, you take 35, half to 18.
18. 17. No, okay.
17 should be.
Yes, it should be.
You round down.
I know. I thought I was rounding down. I just have had so many numbers in my brain that.
It's
Yeah.
all right. It's all right.
Yeah. So that was all psychic damage. Your minds just become assaulted again by the horrific words they speak in a language you do not understand. Elishan.
Well, let me think. I think I shall cast well, first bonus action to heal my good friend Remy.
Yay!
It will be 5 additional points of healing to Remy.
Almost at half health.
And then as her main action, she is... How are these things looking again?
One is looking bloodied, and the other one is looking like he stubbed his toe, and that's the only pain he's had. But it was a minor stub.
The one that is bloodied is the one that's attacking Crean?
The one that is bloodied is the one that's attacking Remy.
Remy? Okay. Elishan is going to draw her rapier and stab it in the back.
And presumably run over there first.
Yes, of course.
And run around it somehow to stab it in the back without provoking attacks of opportunity. And that's some DM bullshit allowing you to do that. So
yeah, no, because she's wherever she was, and she's going to go up and attack it. It doesn't matter where, because it's not like it logistically
I
makes a
believe
difference.
specifically, well, it does. It's whether or not
well,
taking
it's going to be a
plus
20,
6.
a 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. And 7 points of damage.
It barely registers the blow.
Yeah, that's all right, but she's doing it.
You're running low on
magicalness and your dex.
No, I figured I'd had a better chance of hitting it with my sword than making it fail a wisdom save.
Probably.
So I'm stabbing it.
All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, I healed with my bonus and
It's
attacked
alright.
with my name. I'm good.
This is definitely a good team effort you're putting in here.
You know what? This is what happens whenever I don't get like fucking like bullshit spells like Byron and like fucking magical weapons.
I mean, I don't take credit for any of the damage Remy has so far done.
I know.
I've been devoted to just firebolting.
I'm getting shit from the DM, so I have to give shit back. It's not directed towards you. It's directed towards Rob.
Alright, Arthur's is gonna attack the one attacking Crean.
Fucking paroxysm then to feel better if you want. But
I don't feel like throwing chaos around.
Willy-nilly.
Yeah, Arthur's hits with both attacks. For almost max damage, but not quite. Okay, 25 points of damage there.
does he kill the weak one, or is he fighting the strong one?
No, he's fighting the healthier one.
Okay.
Byron, it's your go.
Byron still on the stairs, looks around for any. I mean, he doesn't have the greatest vision here, but looks around for any more shadow creatures potentially coming up behind him. If the coast is clear, he will firebolt.
All right,
It's amazing. Firebolt for 21 to hit.
That is.
A stunning 12 damage.
It's not the worst we've seen. Which one are you hitting?
Oh, the weak one. Always the weakest, I guess. Or whichever one is easiest to hit in the melee, in the shadowy melee.
Yeah,
in front
the
of
one-
me, to be honest.
The one that's going for Remy is the weak one.
Sure.
That's going
Also lit by
Green
Remy's
and Arthur.
flames.
Rose and Crean.
Doesn't bring down the weak one.
No, it's not that weak. It's bloodied.
Okay.
How much did you do? You firebolted, I assume.
12.
Okay.
Spiritual weapon 28 to hit.
Yep.
That's 9 points of force damage. And
Crean's one, is it?
yeah.
Yep.
Goes Sacred Flame.
Natural 4.
That's 14 damage.
Damn. As for the wee man,
18 and a 21.
both hit.
Uh, 17, and he's gonna dump a smite for an additional 12 points of damage.
Okay, this thing's looking rough. As Crean's just like hacking away, just carving off pieces of flesh as it just shrieks and growls at him. Remy.
Remy.
You know what? I'm not even gonna make it. I could just very easily make you no roll, but I want to see if you can beat your record.
Sure. So I'll take it one
102.
attack at a time.
22.
122. Yeah.
First attack is a 16.
Yep.
Second attack is a miss. So it's already not going to be as good. Third attack is a miss.
Oh.
I think. Yeah, 14's a miss.
No, 14's a hit.
14 hits. Okay. Well, I rolled dog shit for the last one. That's a 13. So 2 hits.
Remy.
It's a little lackluster. So that's 2 hits. So I'll get 66, which is crazy. They're both rapier attacks. So I'll get 3d4, 4d4, and 2d8. Roll. 30, 40, 52. But 72 points of damage. There we go.
You only hit twice, remember, so it's not plus 20, it's plus 10.
Right, thank you. So 62 points of
62.
damage. Thank you.
Dead. You just carve it up, burning and screaming. One remains.
The ogre creatures actually screaming?
Yeah.
Okay. And do they dissipate back to shadow after dead, or are they carcasses still there?
No, they're carcasses.
Okay.
They were humanoid before, though, right?
Yeah, but now they're big ass,
They don't revert to that when they die.
ugly carcasses.
Okay.
No, they don't revert. They remain. All right, this last one. He's determined to take Kreen with him to the grave. That's going to be a 21 and a 23 to hit.
Both hit.
All right. This is not going to be Kreen's day. Kreen will also need to make a charisma save.
22.
Okay, that's a success. So let's take that and that and that. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Kreen takes 41 damage total, both psychic and bludgeoning, as he is bashed both physically and mentally.
All right. So, because of concentration checks, how is that divided up? Is it?
Well, the first one was 23 points of damage, and the second was 17.
Okay.
Did you say you made him take the charisma save as well?
Yeah, the charisma save is a 17.
So he only hit.
Because the total was 34.
Okay. I thought he hit twice and got charisma attacked.
Oh, yeah, right. The two hits, yeah, because they have to be split up, don't they? The first one, I cannot remember. I'll say because I couldn't remember he was succeeding his constitution checks. I completely forgot about that.
I was gonna say one's 17, one's a 20, and one's a 14.
Oh,
so.
yeah, he'd succeed anyway. All right. It is now Elishan's turn.
Well, I think for my bonus action, I'm going to heal Remy. Yay! That's gonna fall on the floor. For 10. Woo.
Nice.
Woo.
Don't need to patronize her. Don't.
No, it was good.
Okay, this is
I would never patronize.
Sorry, not being a bitch this evening.
okay. A lot of healing I've done off of one spell slot. So
Okay, come on.
And she's gonna go up and stab the one that's attacking Cream and get a 22.
22 hits.
And that's gonna be 9 piercing. 9 piercing.
9 piercing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It is magical piercing, by the way.
I do not care.
You know what? I care.
Well, they don't have resistance, so it is now Arthur's turn. He will make his attacks. One misses, one hits. For 7 points of damage. Ugh.
Oh, look at that. Look at
One
that.
L.
So useful.
That's called pulling an Elishan.
Fuck you up.
Byron.
I hit for 21.
You did.
It's really easy to hit for over 20 when you have +9 to this attack.
Yeah, you're telling the fucking these things because they have +9.
9. That's, oh my god, 9 on the dice, 9 on the dice, and 2. Okay. So 20 damage all up.
All right. This thing is so near death.
You've told me that every time I've hit one of these things and I've not managed to kill one.
No, because I've told you that some of them were bloodied and some of them were near.
I know. It's
so
always
near death.
almost. I don't think Byron cares. I think I care. Like, I wanted to just kill one of the creatures, but
I mean, at
that's
least
because
you're
you
not
use all
being
your
made
spells
fun
for
of
role play.
for how little damage you're doing.
So
He's just trying to goad me into paroxysm, that's all.
it's not. Rose and Cream.
Spiritual weapon 22 to hit.
Yep.
10 points of damage.
Okay, that kills it.
Yeah.
Describe the kill.
So, like I just had the spiritual weapon just kind of like swings back and just cleanly takes his head off.
Oh, yeah, just all gooey as it lands. Awesome. The man in the center of the pool, as all these things just fall around him in like 30 seconds, he just stands there, continually whipping himself. His expression unchanged.
For the next whatever seconds, Remy's gonna heal 7, 10, 7 again, 11.
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
14, 24, 35 so far?
Then 11.
Okay, that puts me pretty much up to full.
Okay, and then Byron will get 8.
I mean, it only lasts a minute, doesn't
9.
it? And you've
Yeah.
just done like 6 rounds of it.
Yeah, we've only done 3 rounds. Do you want the last round, or do you want me to give it to somebody else?
I mean, you can give it to anyone you like.
Okay, I'll give it to Arthas then. He can have 10.
Right.
All right. Arthas is barely touched, to be fair.
Well, he got hit with some psychic damage.
Yeah, but he healed himself, and that was mostly fine. Anyway, that was me being a dick. That was just me stating fact in a dickish voice. So yeah, what would you like to do as this man just continually stands there whipping himself?
Byron cleans all the blood running from his ears, saying that you like halved my health through psychic damage alone. I imagine all his eyes are bloodshot, and he has to like clean it out of his shirt and stuff as it's all dribbled down the side of his neck. Probably as you try to turn my brain to soup. And then shaking his head, trying to regain his senses, will walk towards the now standing whipping figure. If I reach out to touch him on the temple, does he do anything?
No.
Okay. I will then spend 10 minutes casting Rary's telepathic bond between me and him. And it doesn't need a common language, so I should then be able to understand him.
Okay, that happens.
Does he speak shocked to me or say nothing?
He says nothing. I was seeing if you would realize that I was going to say, but then I realized that it's kind of boring for everyone else. No, he says nothing.
Do you understand me now?
I do.
For those things.
They were the Black Cardinals.
You are not one of them.
I am.
Why did you not turn into a creature and attack us?
My sacred duty goes beyond defending myself.
Is that duty?
You're so lucky Remy is not tapped into this conversation right now. So much duty.
I mostly did it so there wasn't some weird feedback and, everybody is at risk. But,
yeah. What were you saying? What was that last question, sorry?
And what is that duty?
To flagellate myself in this pool.
There is no higher purpose.
There may be. I don't need to know it.
Who told you to do such a thing?
Our goddess. She told the first Black Cardinals that there must always be someone. And there always has been. I am grateful.
None of your scriptures and none of your goddess did not deign to inform me why you should flagellate.
Faith requires no proof. Otherwise, it would not be faith.
Yes, but also if she cared for you at all, she might tell you why it was necessary. How long have you been here and your fellow cardinals?
I don't know.
Have you ever been beyond this room?
Many times.
Is there some sort of frame of reference I could give you that you could then understand what time it is and how long you've been down here?
I don't know.
Where are you from?
I'm from here. This place.
As in Orithil or this basement?
Orithil.
By my best reckoning, Orithil fell, what, 300 years ago, do you think, Rob?
It's
If it
very
was to
hard
guess.
to say.
Hundreds of years ago. Okay.
100. More than that, you reckon?
Okay. Orithil fell at a modest estimate hundreds of years ago. How did you survive?
Through the grace of my goddess.
Don't eat? Drink?
No.
Do you take shifts?
No. My shift ends when the next person's begins, and the next person's begins when they're selected. Though there are none left, so my shift will never end.
Your Black Cardinals, do they hold sacred texts in the library above?
We have no need for sacred texts.
So you're to remain down here whipping for an unknown purpose for a lost civilization till the end of time.
Not for a lost civilization. What happens above here is nothing of my concern.
Right. And in all of its history, there has never been one person to fail to whip themselves at precisely the right time during a changeover of the guard.
Not that I'm aware of.
Your cardinals have never faltered in all that time.
We have not. We cannot. We must not.
Very well. You don't need anything else down here.
What would I need?
Well, perhaps when I see you again, maybe you'll have thought of something. I'm sure you've got plenty of time to think. And he severs the connection and steps
Right.
away from him. And I just tell them everything that just happened.
They give a name to the goddess? Or did he tell you why they attacked us?
It seemed fairly unhelpful, to be honest. They have no law, no text, no scripture. Just that they are to continue to do this for some unknown reason. Because they always have. Although he does say now there are no more cardinals, so perhaps all that remained of that order was in this room. He gave no indication that he would stop or anything would stop him. Only that another would take up the service, and that's when his would end. But with no others to take up, he will continue to do so.
Did you ask why we were attacked?
I mean, he didn't offer the information, and no, I didn't ask. Seems to have already resolved itself.
He doesn't seem upset that we defended ourselves.
From what I could tell, he doesn't seem to blame us or care about anything above world or below.
I'm curious about that pool, though. I'm wondering if that's what's prolonging his... I wonder if that's why he's healing and what's prolonging everything for him.
I think it would be easier for us to work that out by ourselves than to ask him. He seems reticent.
I was gonna say, can I go and try and figure that out?
You can.
See what the pool is doing, because the pool is magical.
Yeah. So if you like, are you going to touch it?
I will go up to it and kind of try to, I guess, Arcana check it or whatever, and kind of like hand like over it, but not touching. But I'm gonna like look up at the dude when I've got my hand over it, just to kind of see what his... If I have to insight check like what his reaction is, just let me know.
He doesn't look at you. He's staring straight ahead.
Okay. But okay, so then Arcana check if he's not gonna have a reaction. Maybe?
Sure.
Sure. You said sure. It's gonna be bad. Where's my sheet? 11.
Nothing about the water suggests anything magical, to be honest. You wouldn't know it was magical unless you... Or you wouldn't know it was magical if you didn't have your tech magic.
I can't seem to figure this out, but I know there's something about the water.
The water was magical when you had to take magic up?
And so is the man and those others.
He said he needed nothing. Not to eat, not to sleep. A boon of his goddess, he called it. I presume that's who regenerates his flesh. Although why she would spend time doing that and having him damage himself repeatedly, I don't know. Let me have a look at the pool. And I get a 22.
All right. Nothing about the pool suggests it would be magical to you unless you know it otherwise. This is just water. It's doing no magical effect, I'll say.
Does it seem to drain anywhere? Is there a flow to the water, or is it just stagnant?
It is a stagnant pool of water that is apparently somehow magical.
And it was evocation magic, you said?
It's kind of evocation, abjuration. It's honestly, it's a little bit of everything, I would say.
Rob's go-to whenever he's not for sure.
No, it's my go-to when it's a little bit of everything.
I mean, I guess perhaps divine in nature. Maybe the water is blessed.
Does this sound like any type of god that you know, Rose?
I was wondering that.
You can make a religion check.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. That is going to be a 23.
You've never heard of any god that would do this, though. You have heard of gods giving people difficult or impossible tasks in order to prove faith. And you reckon that someone doing a task like this, showing such unfaltering faith, probably strengthens the god a fair amount and sustains them a fair amount. Like prayer, but more so. Because, you know, it's just more faith than having to speak some words.
I would say that a task like this would be a great act of faith for anyone to undertake. A god or goddess would definitely gain power from their followers' willingness to act in such a way.
Now, my consideration was that if we were to stop him doing this, something would notice, something would happen. So
I say if he wants to be a slave, let him.
I won't be party to stopping him.
What's everyone's passive perception?
20.
16?
16.
All right. If it's above a 19, you notice a change in the water. You see that it looks like someone's dropped ink in it. Like there's this kind of weird black flowing, sort of moving liquid within the liquid, it seems. And you see the flagellator kind of looks down and notices it. And you see him falter slightly and start like stepping out of the water. He looks scared. And as you're watching this kind of black liquid kind of fill up the pool, you suddenly see a blue shimmer run across it. What would you like to do?
Does it feel chaosy? You, Elishon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. She'll step back and point that out. Like that's chaos.
You see in the center of the pool, the water appears to be moving upwards, kind of as if almost like dripping upwards. It kind of begins flowing into the center, and it looks like a shape is sort of growing in the center, and you see it kind of stick out an arm. And then another arm. It looks like it's forming some kind of humanoid figure. As you watch, from this large, or it's not that large, from this medium-sized, kind of dripping, watery, black ichor, steps a woman. She has very pale skin and waist-length black hair that seems to flow off her head like liquid. She's dripping black and blue liquid into this pool. She's very lithe, very thin, and her face is kind of very haughty, and her eyes are glowing bright blue. You see, she turns to you, kind of nods with slight interest, then turns around to the flagellate who's stopped, kind of in fear, and he just begins to crumble into dust, as in front of her, just this black and blue dust that just falls into the floor and disappears. Then she turns around to look at all of you. kind of squints her eyes. Thank you, my dears, she says, kind of stepping towards you. And her form is kind of clad in this blue and black smoke. So she kind of looks strange, but you can tell, you can sort of make out a form, almost as if her clothing was just smoke.
Remy's going to point a sword at her and say, "You better step back, bitch."
Yeah, Elishan would have been at like the edge of the pool, so I imagine she's like stumbling backwards.
Elishan's starting to get a tension headache. It's like if looking at a normal person with chaos is like looking at a light bulb, is like looking into the sun a little bit. Like she is super chaos. And she says, "I thought those morose bastards would never leave. Oh, I've been blocked out of here for ages." That Harame is very protective of her little cardinals. She said she speaks brightly, as though you've kind of been friends for years and you've just sort of done her a solid.
Who is protective of the cardinals?
Harame. I'll type into the chat. You are Byron, Remy, Rose. You must be Crean. Arthas. Oh, she looks at Elle. I know you.
That's what they all say.
I like that. I'll use that. That's good. So, I have a couple of questions I want to ask you before we continue with this. And she kind of steps out of the pool. She's very tall, probably 6'2" or 6'3", and you see that the water is sort of behind her. The pool is sort of, it's almost stopped being water and is more like something thicker, maybe like cream or that sort of consistency where it's much more sort of glob-like, as if all the water's been kind of removed from it and it's just thicker. And she says, "No, you killed someone very important to me. And, well, I'd like an explanation." She kind of has this, like, relishing smile on her face.
If you're talking about Durakai, it was our pleasure.
She narrows her eyes.
You look like someone who's overdue for a good stabbing.
You would say that.
Yeah,
I would.
Whenever she mentions, like, you killed someone important to me, like, I think Elishan would kind of like step back again and kind of reach for Arthas's hand.
Yeah, he's kind of stunned, and so he kind of jumps slightly when you take his hand. And she says, "No, don't worry. I won't hurt you. I won't hurt you. No. Look, I think we got off on the wrong foot. A vacancy has recently, shall we say, been made in my plane. And I'd like one of you to fill it, seeing as you owe me."
God damn it, I am sick to death of extra-dimensional fuckers pushing me around. Anybody else mind if I kill this bitch?
She giggles.
I'm sorry, you know all of our names, and who exactly are you?
Oh. Call me Evelyn.
I knew an Evelyn once. I think.
You think?
I mean,
You sound very serious. And she sort of like traces your chin with her finger. But you don't feel anything when she does it.
You know what? You're right. It wasn't Evelyn, but close enough.
So, I grow bored with this conversation. Are you going to accept? Which one of you would like to join me? I mean, it's a pretty good deal. Her jaw kind of becomes set. You're being
Rob?
rather rude. Yes?
If I cast Calm Emotions on her, could I send her back to where she came? Like I did Durokai?
You can cast Calm Emotions on her.
I'm gonna try to
right.
cast Calm Emotions on Evelyn.
Does she get to save?
Yes, there is a
All right.
save. Unless there was like some sort of Calm Emotions craziness. Calm Emotions. It is a charisma saving throw.
Okay. You cast Calm Emotions on her. She flicks her hand and says, "No, no," and you are transported to Duskent in your mind. Everyone sees Elishan just pass out.
I'm going to charge her and attack.
Okay.
Can I make my attack rolls?
No.
Oh, okay.
You attack her, and your blades go through her. She's not there.
Remy's just screaming and slashing.
She's pretty much like Byron's like, oh, she might be an illusion. Oh, I'm growing bored with this. And you're all being, well, frankly, you're being rather rude. And I'm sick of you. Well, I'm sick of you trying to, do all this. So if we could just skip to the part where one of you fills Durakai's position. Because really, raising children is such a pain.
Can I see anything that might indicate where she's projecting from?
You can make a check.
Perception, Arcana, what do you want? What do you want? Intelligence check?
Whichever you would feel is more appropriate.
Okay. Yeah, 13.
Nope.
Byron, who's just been watching this all very carefully, I had hoped no one would notice. Seems not to be the case. I don't feel that any of us are particularly interested in your offer. Would you care Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
you go.
No, you go.
I was going to say, would you care to step back into your portal and go away, like disappear?
She begins chuckling and steps right in front of you. Kind of turns her head to one side. I like you. Maybe I should choose you. You're a wizard, yes?
Gifted? Sure.
Well, most of my other children are a bit more violent. It might be interesting to have the change of pace. Yes, I think you'll do nicely. Very well. I'll speak to you afterwards. She steps back into the pool, and she says, "No. Clearly, as I've shown you, I'm not here, and well, I have a plane of existence to run, so it wouldn't be prudent for me to stand about here and, well, anyway, I think you've all proven yourselves to be powerful, strong individuals. So I'll do you a favor. I'll give you two of my favorites." She just has this huge grin on her face as she disappears. Black and blue chaos smoke just begins pouring out of this pool as you see two forms in the center of it just begin growing upwards and outwards as you see two Chaos Lords rise in front of you, both Gurden and the one after him, Fenderal, begin growing. You see Gurden's green, sickly skin, and you see surrounded by giant maggots and has the huge mouth with a lolling, insane tongue kind of flicking out of his mouth in his stomach. And he has an enormous grinning, almost insane smile on his enormous face as he grows and grows and grows taller and taller. He's probably 15, 20 feet tall by the time he's finished. His huge fat legs, or his huge fat form, crushing his atrophied legs underneath him so that he sits because he can't stand. You see he is covered in welts and sores which weep yellow pus, and he has these enormous horns serving as a crown ruling over those he's infected. The enormous tongue in his mouth licks up and down his skin, eating or drinking the pus that his body creates from these various sores. The other, meanwhile, begins standing up. He is taller than Gurden, but he is dressed like a warrior. He has a black cloak of fur that drapes over his shoulders, and he wears a helmet. And through the visor in the helmet, you can see deep black eyes. He hefts an enormous greatsword, and his posture is that of pure sadness, one who has given up almost, it seems. And he begins stepping towards you. And
Remy's going to move to intercept.
Go for it.
Is there anything happening in Daskent?
Yeah, that's what we'll get to in a second.
So I rolled a 26 and a natural 20.
Both
the
hit?
first two attacks.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm just going to go ahead and make my second two attacks. Which puts me at a 18 and a 17.
Okay. For damage, yeah?
Uh-huh. Well, no. Those were all, those 18, 17 hit.
They miss.
Okay. Do I still have the fiery shit on me?
Believe
That
so.
would have lasted a minute. No, it's
Oh,
gone.
no. Then no.
Okay.
We've had
that's
conversation and all the
Yeah,
rest.
yeah. No, you don't.
Is Kreen's thing still going or no?
No.
That's a minute too.
Oh,
Okay.
no. You guys burned all your things before you
We
got to the real boss
sure
fight.
did.
But burns all my things. Looks at my vast, empty, and not having used
Yeah.
anything list. Don't.
Let me gloat.
I have plenty.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
You're also unconscious, but
Yeah, I mean I'm a big help right now.
potentially blind and all the rest of it.
Yeah, she's gonna die.
That's going to be 34 points of damage.
Okay.
You're
Are you striking Guradan or Fenrir?
The guy with the sword.
Okay.
The guy with the sad-looking fellow.
He was the one that was walking towards us.
Lord of Woe. Yeah. Gurden's just like laughing and licking up and down his body as he watches. You have like 10, 15 minutes, Dylan,
Yeah,
correct?
like 10.
So before we jump into combat then, because I think we'll probably do combat next session, so you guys survive another session. Elishan, you're in Daskent, the plane of chaos. And you see before you certain flashes. You see the flash of an enormous palace that is black and blue that looks off in the distance. You see Evelyn walking towards you, except that she's hundreds and hundreds of feet tall. And every step she shrinks down further and further and further. And eventually she's comes to the height she was before, and she steps next to you. And she says, "Well, my dear, it seems like you almost like coming here. You do it so often."
I wouldn't say that it's something I enjoy.
No, most people don't. But, well, seeing as you're going to be blind and deaf when you go back, I would say this is probably the last conversation you're ever really going to get, considering my children are there killing your friends.
What baby?
And she kind of like walks in and she like puts an arm around your shoulder, and this time, you can feel it.
Sucker
and
puncher.
she says, "Walk with me. You may as well."
Right, may as well. Time is different here, right?
Yes. Well, for you anyway. It's all sort of a blur to me. Now, you like the big one, don't you? Arthas? Come on. You don't need to tell it. It's written all over your face. No,
Yeah,
come on,
she
don't worry.
probably is blushing. So.
Yeah. And she continues walking and she says, but he's not the only one you've had feelings for, is he?
What do you mean?
Well, what was his name? Kythius? Kyrius? Oh, the name escapes me.
Kidius.
That's it. You see, materializing in front of you from floating from bottom up is a cage, and inside she sees Kydius or Kidius. I can't remember how we decided to pronounce it. And he is wearing nothing apart from these kind of slack trousers. She says, "Well, see, you put him here a while ago, and well, we've been having fun, haven't we?" And she looks at him, and he is just like staring at you, kind of his just wide-eyed, his mouth open. She sees that he only has one arm. The other one appears to have been taken off just above the elbow, and he's like covered in scars and looks pretty hideous. And he's sort of just like he just kind of looks broken. And she waves her hand, and it begins to. He and the cage begin to turn to smoke.
No, then she kind of like goes towards it and
she just, as she gets there, it's just gone. The smoke. She says, "Oh, I grow bored of this. Now, one question.
bring him back."
I might. But first, answer me this. If you had to choose, who would you choose?"
Dum dum dum.
You can't choose.
Well, then I'll choose. And she grins. And she steps towards you for a second. And then there's blackness. She's gone. Everything's gone. And you hear the sounds of... you hear that you're back. Oh, you don't hear anything, actually. Shit. You're blind and deaf. And feel
you smell a very boozy halfling nearby.
You feel the cold stone floor again. And the only thing we're going to do before we end this is Remy. You hear the voice inside your head, and it says this: "Remy, you will die here unless you accept my help. Your friends will die here. Byron will die here.
Fuck you.
You hear, it's almost like the voice. You can't hear it, but you know it's still there. You feel the cold at the back of your neck. And you say, Remy, you've just killed your friends. I
We'll
hope
see about that.
if you survive, you can live with that. But I need you to know that I'll still be here later. And that's where we'll finish it.